I've never been here before, so thanks for coming out tonight. Kat Timpf is making her way from Gutfeld as we speak, so she's going to be here probably about a half hour, but we can slum it with Dr. Drew and Kyle Dunnigan before that. So why don't we just bring out Dr. Drew and Kyle Dunnigan. To your thunderous
like
applause.
the old days. Oh, yeah. Kyle's here.
Thanks for coming out.
Sit in the middle?
I'll sit off here and talk to you too. It works better this way.
And Kat will sit there. You sit here.
Dr. Drew's doing a stand-up set later on tonight for the stand-up show, just in case you're.
You know how that happens? Adam goes, work up 4 minutes. I go, Adam, you know I'm not funny. You know I'm not a comedian. He goes, yeah, you'll do it. You can do it.
Well, not only are you not funny, you destroy comedy. Other people sit back idly and watch comedy. You're like a black hole where comedy goes to die.
No.
So
well, your comedy in particular.
You are a sack of baking soda to my comedy fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not that he's neutral on comedy like you guys, you know, you're not going to add anything, but you're not going to subtract anything. He actually takes comedy and hides it somewhere, never to be found again.
Yeah.
So now he's going to take that mentality, he's going to bring it to the stage.
Do it myself.
And he's going to do it himself. And I got a lot. And Kyle, I know you're here, you're full-time here in New York.
Oh, yeah, right? I'm here all the time. It's great to be here. What a club.
You know, Rodney, I got to tell you, everyone worships you and looks up to you, but the one time I met you, you were kind of a douche to me, I got to say.
Hey, it's all right. I didn't know what a talent you were. Good God.
Okay, you don't have to take cheap shots. We're doing Loveline, the TV show on MTV. I just went to your dressing room to say hi.
Yeah.
Yeah, you remember that.
Just barge into a big star's dressing room. Why wouldn't I say hello?
No, I knocked politely. You were in your bathrobe.
Yeah, get out doesn't mean come in. Okay. Great guy.
It was a solid corridor. I couldn't hear. I just assumed you were inviting me in. Rodney, now, let me tell you something. The people that wear terry cloth bathrobes do it for comfort, and the ones who wear the silk ones do it so you can see their nutsack.
That's right.
Which one is Rodney?
He's the silk one.
Okay, got it.
There's plausible deniability because you just tie it in an X, but everything is silk and slippery, and then when you sit down, the sash comes undone, the thing spills open, and your nutsack falls out.
Yeah.
It's a power nutsack move, the silk bathrobe.
I was taught to lead with the nutsack.
Yeah, well, it worked. So I was in there, and we were just kind of having a sack-to-sack talk.
Hey, two guys, sack to sack.
Yeah.
I love it.
And I just said, have a good show, and you're, you know.
We met him again on the radio show with his wife.
Oh,
and that's where the flowers came in.
His wife had a business where she, I don't say grew, but she obtained giant flowers.
Africanized roses.
Yeah, let's not bring race into this, but they were regular rose color, but yeah, it was some...
Yeah, downstairs there was no rose, if you know what I mean.
They were giant, you know, hit with gamma radiation flowers is basically what I would assume. But anyway, so, you know. But anyway, Rodney, I know you liked the spleef back in the day, which is weird, you know, because you think of him as a highball guy, not a weed guy. But Rodney liked to toke it out a little bit.
Take the edge off.
Yeah.
From people breaking into my dressing room.
Oh, yeah, well, I didn't break in, I knocked.
Stressing me out.
Okay.
So club here, by the way. They're making COVID-20 in the bathroom.
I had all right, I did notice something. I rode the subway today.
Whoa.
Yeah. And as a weird thing, being from L.A., I did see a giant rat running around the terminal there, and I was the only one.
In the tracks or just
up top.
Okay.
And I was the only one who was reacting to it. Everyone else was like stepping over it or grabbing a bite of pizza off it and then handing it back. Like everyone was well versed with the rat. It was sort of like, your rats are our homeless.
Oh.
You know, in L.A., we just step over homeless guys. There's a homeless guy taking a dump. You're like, honey, out of the way. He's taking a dump here. Guy's freaked out on fentanyl. We walk right past it. But if we see a rat,
It stops us.
that's
Particularly
a
those
big
ones.
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
So this rat, who had horrible posture, by the way, I want to get him one of those copper fit bras, you know. But he's running around, and no one else is reacting but me, so
Yeah.
I don't want to seem like
Sure.
a hysteric.
Weird, yeah.
But here's the thing I notice every time I come to New York, and I think I noticed it on the way in coming through the Lincoln Tunnel, and then I noticed it today in the subway. Tile. Tile
yeah.
everywhere.
Guess what? They call it subway tile.
Subway tile. And, you know, I've set my fair share of tile. 4x4 tile. And if you really, and then I looked it up, it was like 665 miles of track
Wow.
in New York, which is miles and miles and miles of tile.
Yeah, yeah.
So they tile, everything's tiled. And so it's kind of a weird thing. Like if you had a bathroom and someone said, well, tile the shower enclosure. And your wife went, yeah, okay, but let's just do the whole wall. You go, come on, bitch, that's too much. Now that's too much. What, are you trying to kill me? That's too much. They tile, it's miles and miles of tiles, everybody. I should open a tile store. But what I'm saying is I understood they did things differently back then.
Yes.
But didn't it seem like an inordinate amount of time and labor? Every single one set by hand, grouted, and all unnecessary. Totally unnecessary. It's not like the tile. It's not like you pop a tile off and the ceiling comes down. It's
Yeah.
just, it's ornate. It's there for decoration. It's unnecessary. It's not doing anything,
Yeah.
but yet there it is.
Yeah.
And it's tile. They must have had some kind of deal with like big tile. Like,
Yeah, I think so.
LaGuardia must have been getting like kickbacks from
Yeah.
like big tile or
Yeah.
big porcelain or something like that, because he literally went, we need 200 billion units of this 4x4 tile that is not accomplishing anything.
There's got to be a story here. There has to be.
There's got to be a tile-related story, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to blow the lid off this shit as soon as the
Ask
show.
Rock.
Ask Rock what is going on. And it's all through the tunnels. Like, I get it. It's nice, but L.A., zero tile. We just, or maybe we have tile, it's just all graffiti over
You
it.
couldn't see it.
I wouldn't know what it was. But there was also, I was on the train for like 14 minutes, and I was like, nothing weird has happened yet. Like, this may go against their, you know, I've seen the Warriors. I understand. I've seen Warriors and Fort Apache, the Bronx. So I think I got a pretty good handle on what goes on.
I had the guy over here with the boombox.
Oh, you had
Forget that.
You
guy
took the subway
who
here?
decides, that
Yeah.
the whole cart wants to hear his music.
I had the guy who decided everyone wanted to hear mariachi music, and this guy got on, and he had a guitar, and he had his wife, and she was playing the tambourine, and he was singing, but the train was rocking, and he couldn't really get his footing because he's wearing cowboy boots, and he's holding a guitar that's bigger than he is because he's like this big, and he's bouncing around. He's trying to steady himself against a post, but it's not working, and that's when I came up with this invention. This is called busking, by the way, when you go out and you play and you get paid. It's called busking. The Subway busking belt, where you just pop it on, snap it in front of the post, cinch it up, and then you can stand there steady as she goes, cranking out La Cucaracha or Guantanamero, whatever it is.
Not big TAM on that, though. Total addressable market. It's very low. You're not going to make a lot of money.
You don't think there are a lot of mariachi buskers
You
in
might
the
sell
United
5.
States? Well, that's 5 more than you sold, bitch.
Well, you know the economy of scale? You
Yeah,
know, you
yeah,
have
yeah.
to make every one of those by hand. And
Well, who else would put up, like, I was going to say Japan has a robust subway, but they wouldn't put up with mariachi bands
No.
roving through there, would they?
Did the tambourine go off the whole time? If it was all
She
shaky,
had
whole
the
subway?
tambourine. He was playing the guitar. he started singing, and then she joined in and harmonized, and then the door opened and everyone piled off. I'm just saying, I don't know. You know, when you see people out doing what they're doing, at a certain point, isn't it less work just to get a fucking job? Like, isn't it just easier? Just go to the Amazon hub, get medical and dental. You know what I mean? Smoke a little reefer in the parking lot during your break. At some point, you can do a slip and fall and sue Bezos. You know what I mean? Claim your back's fucked up and you can't work. You go home, get paid, watch TV. Like, isn't it a better world?
Yeah, that makes more sense. Yes.
Did you get to the tile?
Tile. So this is how Adam's brain works, right? If he sees something that catches his attention, it means something. And of course, this means something. So this was part of the hygienic design movement of the early 20th century. Clean, classic look, sense of order and modernity. It was consciously, and it resisted grime and graffiti.
Yes.
But then I thought of the time.
Yeah.
And non-porous.
Yeah, no, nothing handles a snot rocket from a hobo like porcelain with baked enamel on it. You know? No, it is snot rocket free since 1921.
But then I thought of the tiles in the Pasadena freeway tunnels.
Yeah.
Which always looked like shit.
Mm-hmm.
So
porous.
We did something wrong there with those tiles.
Well, you're right. Everything needs to be hosed down.
Everything in LA sucks. Everything.
Yeah, it
we
can't
get the tiles right.
We're a society that has jumped the shark on porous materials. We can no longer be trusted with porous materials because porous materials, like cement is porous. Concrete is cement with aggregate in it. I don't want to bore you, but the point is it's porous.
Why would you bore us with 10 minutes on porous material?
Portland cement.
About that.
1 part aggregate, 1 part Portland cement, 2 scoops of sand, and decomposed granite will work if you have. No, so I see pieces of gum that have been there. In the cement. Well, by the way, they're now part of the cement. They've become the cement. I'm scared if someone scraped it up, the sidewalk would fall apart. It's literally the fabric of the. Some of that shit's been in there since the Eisenhower administration. Like, it's not going anywhere. But we can't do porous anymore. We have a tunnel in L.A. Once a week they paint it, and the gangbangers and taggers follow the guys who paint. And are like, is that set up yet? And the guy's like, no, the primer's still a little tacky. All right, give it a minute. All right, well, I'll just shake my can here, and then we're going behind you. I'll tell you the strangest, almost eeriest sight in Los Angeles, and I took pictures of it, but it was sort of unbelievable.
Oh, what is this going to be? There's a lot of unbelievable things in our town.
This is a weird.
By the way, I was in LA, downtown LA, 2 days ago, Tuesday. Car got broken into.
Your car?
Yeah, blew up my passenger window. You can't fucking park a car
really?
for 8 hours.
Ooh, language. That's Christian podcast.
Sorry,
Hold on.
This is Rodney's.
But did they leave the stripper in the trunk, or they take her too?
Gone.
Gone. Tammy's gone. Holy shit.
Not Tammy.
Tammy, sorry, why did I bother buying all that hooker kibble? And she's gone. It has all the nutrients they need. Okay. They need more potassium than you and I. Drew will tell you after the show why prostitutes need so much more potassium. And the hooker kibble, I'm not doing a commercial for the hooker kibble. It's available. Check my site. Go to Amazon. Click through the site. Okay. Sodium and potassium. No, okay. Okay, here's it. What'd they steal out of your car?
Oh, you really want the story?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do. They broke the window.
Got your dildo.
A woman I told you the story. A woman that's worked for us for 3 decades had a stroke.
Oh.
So Susan goes, I'll take your purse. Actually, the hospital gave it to her.
This isn't a funny story at all.
Wait.
Wow.
I know. She put the purse in this car that I drove the next day. I didn't know it was in there.
Uh-huh.
And this lady then told us, subsequent to this purse being stolen out of the car, that she had a lot of cash in it.
Oh. And her ex-husband's ashes. But that's all they got.
It could be.
All they got is her beloved husband of 41 years ashes and a bunch of cash. All right, so Thanks for bringing us down.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Back to L.A. It sucks. What was amazing?
Well, here's the beauty of L.A. Anyone you talk to in L.A. go, there's a purse in the car? That's on you, bro. I do like crimes on you. Oh, you ran into your house to take a shit and left your laptop inside of your locked car? That's on you. Okay. Well, it's quite a society we've crafted
here. You made it
here.
too easy.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't put rebar over your bay window? Oh, wait a minute. You went to sleep? That's on you, bro. You should have been up with a shotgun patrolling in your pajamas in the living room. Oh, you had a family? Oh, that's on you, bro. That's on you. You got nice stuff? Yeah, that's on you. Oh, you bought a watch? Oh, okay, that's on. I
wish you were kidding.
You drove a car more than $11,000 in worth? That's on you, bro. It was your fault for eating out. You shouldn't have gone outside. All right, where was I? Oh, okay. I saw something amazing. It was a weird harbinger, but it was there was a freeway off-ramp or on-ramp or overpass or whatever, and it was like in Burbank, Sun Valley's on the way to the Burbank airport, and it was down the 5 freeway. And I used to pass it every time I went to the Burbank airport, and the thing that was crazy about it is it was covered with graffiti. They got about halfway, they built it sort of halfway. They got up and they started to turn, and remember in the movie Speed?
Yes, that's what I thought of.
Remember Keanu Reeves?
Yeah, jump it.
Yeah, and they built it, and it was like 80 feet apart. Mm-hmm. By the way, it was the exact same level, except for somehow the bus got launched in the air. That movie was so fake, bro.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was like that, but it was tagged, right? And so when you went past it, it looked like an old overpass that they were demoing out because it was so covered with graffiti. But the reality is every 6 feet they built, that night they got 6 feet worth of graffiti on the side of it. So your mind played tricks on you because it just looked like an old tagged overpass, but really, literally, the taggers just waited till the guys went home that night, and then it was like, hey, essay, or whoever Jews talk. There's...
That was it.
Hey, essay, there's another 10 feet of fresh concrete we can deface.
4 more days of Hanukkah.
Yeah, hey, essay.
Hey, essay.
Rattle that can of Krylon and take that dreidel for a spin, bro.
Hey. Yom Kippur just ended, eh?
Hey, who's this seat for, Elijah?
Hey, leave it for the prophet, eh? Come on, man.
Hey.
You gotta leave that for the prophet, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
All right.
Canceled.
Yeah, we're canceled. But here's the interesting thing I was saying. I don't know if I was saying this to Drew or I was complaining about this, but
What?
LA
Complaining to me?
is so bad now that we started putting barbed wire around the freeway signs.
Barbed wire?
Razor wire.
Razor wire.
Concertine wire. I was complaining about that for a long time when they started, and then we started basically people who own cars have to weld grates under their cars and take their catalytic converters and put them in a cage underneath your car. Can you imagine the state of things when you're literally welding a cage underneath your car so your catalytic converter cannot be removed? And then they're pulling all the copper out of the street lights on the bridges and all that. So we have this 6th Street bridge, and it costs $1 billion, but it's all dark now, and it doesn't work. And they were talking to a city councilman the other week, and he's like, well, we'd like to put the copper wire back in, but we can't because it'll just be stolen immediately. So
That's on the bridge, though. That's on the bridge. They're doing for half of that.
also, you know what they need to do? Oh, Kat Timp's here, everybody.
Hey, Cat.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey. Oh, okay. I'm
Wait,
sorry.
you need a microphone.
Yeah, come
Here.
on. I'll get you a microphone.
I'll let you have mine here.
Listen, ladies don't need microphones, okay? We'll say what they're thinking.
Hey, Drew, did you miss me?
I did.
Yeah.
Here
I
you
know.
go. Sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry, Kat. I was just attacking Los
Mommy.
Angeles, and then we
Okay.
can get
Mommy
we can
Kat.
get,
Yes,
we
I
can
am
get
a
right
mommy.
to it. So this person was saying they can't put the copper wire back into the street lights until we can figure out a way to build a cage around the wiring so they can't pull. So I basically said LA is going to look like a vending machine in prison. Yeah. You ever see a vending machine at like a facility and it has that cage around it? Yeah, yeah. All the drugs, all the deodorant, all the batteries, all the spray paint, everything is in a cage. We literally have to put a cage around everything because our society is deteriorated to such a point that's all we can think to do.
The city council is going to take it on.
Oh, yeah, they'll take that on.
Yeah.
Kat, how you doing? How is Gutfeld tonight?
It's great. Also, today we just got in the mail the cage for my baby. He's crawling.
You got a baby cage?
Yeah.
Good.
My husband's like, he's like, it's called a playpen. I'm like, it's a fucking cage.
It's a cage. Yeah, smart.
It's a cage.
Her son is athletic.
Yes.
6 months of age.
Really?
He does not
Yeah.
get that from me. But yeah, he's moving.
He's moving, so you got a cage. Yeah, I didn't get a cage for my kids, and a Mexican stole one of them, and I
Yeah.
haven't seen him since.
Yeah.
So you're smart.
He just tries to kill himself all day. I mean, who among us?
Did you baby-proof everything?
No.
Oh, good for you.
That's what the cage
It's such
is
it's such
for.
a hassle.
Yeah.
All the baby-proof stuff. You know, they're putting the caps inside of the. By the way, I put a butter knife in a socket when I was 3. Guess who learned not to put butter knives in sockets? It was super valuable
We
for
had
me.
a son do that with a fork.
It's also how my hair got this way. So, Kat, did Gutfeld today? I think I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, Drew and I are going to see you tomorrow.
we're all gonna hang out
over there.
tomorrow. Yeah, it's gonna be
Who's-
great.
who's
Oh,
the
cool.
fork?
I'll go too. Oh, no.
Yeah.
It's just kind of,
Invite Kyle in?
it's a comedy show.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I actually don't know who the other guest is. I don't know. No, Tyrus is not here.
Yeah. All right. Sorry. How's your health? I know you've been through a lot.
I cut my tits off and now I have no more cancer. So thank you.
Although the
Yes.
funniest thing you said about your tits
Yeah.
on the show
What?
was right in the aftermath of the whole Sydney Sweeney thing.
Yeah, that I almost wish I went bigger because like that whole I have the implants and I have more titty now than I ever did before I got cancer. But yeah, in the aftermath of that, I'm like maybe I should have just gone ridiculous because
Yeah.
like very rarely do you get the opportunity. Nobody could say anything.
No.
Right?
No.
I could have
no.
gone ridiculous and they would have been like, we're so glad you're healthy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't have nipples yet, but when I do, December 4th, mark your calendars, everyone.
I was gonna-
Yes, December 4th.
Let's have,
Yes.
we'll have a
I saw the
Yes.
date. I saw the date on the GoFundMe.
Yeah.
I contributed as a nipple man.
Yeah.
Although I do want some input on the areola size, but we can talk.
I
We'll
can
talk.
I
We'll
can
talk
also
after
get
the show.
those as big as I want.
Well, that's what I want to talk about.
Adam's a little extreme on that one.
You know, I'm kind of a bologna guy. Not so
You
much
are?
pepperoni.
Yeah.
Not so much pepperoni. More bologna.
I should just bring you to my appointment.
Oh, I'll consult. Yeah, I'll tell you what.
This is my nipple consultant, Adam Carolla.
Does he do breast reduction as well? Because he can just bring by the before book, and I'll
Yeah.
just kill some time in the lobby. I would love just to walk into the ones who do the breast reduction and just go, look, thinking about bringing my old lady out here, but first I want to see that before book, okay? And just remember, can you check this out? What's protocol? Okay, I can take it to the bathroom, right? I don't have to leave it here. I mean, I don't want someone to steal it. Do they tattoo the nipples?
So they actually can make a protrusion out of the skin. So they're doing
Oh,
that
okay.
on December 4th, and then after that, I'm getting the tattoos. So it's gonna look great. And then like whenever I show them off,
Yeah.
it's like I'm brave.
Yeah, you're brave. And by the way, it's unclear what the rules are about that as far as
Right.
cable TV or
Right,
network
like
goes.
they're not technically tits. So can I just?
We had a guy on the Man Show a million years ago, a guest, who was like a professional gambler, and he lost a bet, or somebody said, I'll give you $10,000 to get breast implants.
I saw this guy. Yeah.
Yeah, we dated for several months
Yeah.
after his appearance. It was that good a job. And so we wanted to show his man tits, you know, and then the network was like, I don't know. I don't think we can. And I was like, it's a dude, you know? And so it was, you know, it's not like the founding fathers hammered this one out before they died. They left some things open to interpretation.
Explain that to 1780s guy.
Yeah.
You'd be like, what?
There was a lot, we're breaking a lot of ground and bras on that show, and there was a lot of arguments as to what you could show. Here's my argument. I've seen The Biggest Loser. I've seen a 700-pound dude wearing dolphin shorts and man tits just flopping out to here with stretch marks on it. I'm sorry. If that's acceptable during prime time, then your fake tattooed titties are just going to be fine on Gutfeld. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate the support.
It's weird. I feel like you have to consult Cam, though.
Yeah.
Like, he needs to have a vote on how this is exposed.
Oh, I've been consulting.
Cam, your husband.
My husband,
That's
yeah.
That's Drew's greatest gift of all time.
Yes.
Everyone. He names an auto part and says, I hope you're talking to Cam.
Yeah.
Yes, Cam is her husband.
Yes.
Yes.
He's the luckiest man in the world.
I think you got him for like the next 40 years. Like, who's going to take that trash
Right.
out? Yeah, okay,
That's-
me with no nipples? I don't think so.
Yeah, exactly.
Get moving.
Exactly.
Oh, I've heard her say shit like that at the house.
Yeah.
Cam, will you make dinner? Because the cancer and all.
Yeah. I didn't
smart.
change a diaper for months.
No.
Because I was like, Cam, I have cancer.
Yeah.
But then you turn it to, and the cancer, you know.
The whole cancer thing.
Cancer
So,
thing.
like, I don't have cancer anymore, but there's arguably, I'm still recently enough out of it that I still can claim the ambiguous cancer thing.
I'd say
trauma.
cancer, I think
Yeah.
it's like being a Marine. They don't go form
Yeah.
a Marine. They just,
Yeah.
you're always a Marine. You're always
I agree.
cancerous.
I
That's the
agree.
way I
I'm
look
always
at it.
cancerous.
Yeah, I'm not an oncologist, but that's how I would approach it if I
agree.
was. You are cancer. Yeah,
yes.
I agree. So you're basically just living with an adult white slave at this
Well,
point.
he can't. Well, what's he gonna do? Leave me?
Well,
I mean,
I would tell him
How-
listen, here's what I would tell him. No, he can't.
he can't.
Yeah, adulterous affair on the side. Yeah, but he can't actually confront you.
He can't.
No,
Even
but
he
if I
wanted
was
to.
Cam's publicist / attorney, I would tell him, listen, Cam, you got to lose a nut.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need both nuts.
Yeah.
And you could easily lose the nut and get back on equal footing
Yes,
here.
his-
Otherwise, you're
his
just gonna be taking
only
the
way
trash
out
out.
is if he gets. I didn't think of that. He could get worse cancer himself.
He could go full Tom Green and get out of the trash detail with you.
That's pretty much the only way. Otherwise, it'd be real difficult.
The male version of the nudicle, I think we'd call it. What I'm saying is reconstructive, tattoo, all sorts of stuff. But for a guy, when you lose a nut, they just put a marble in there,
They've
sew you
had
back
various
up.
thremember things over the years. Some were like sort of glass, like a marble. Some were
Yeah.
like rubbery. They're different things.
Oh, do you remember Larry Flint?
Yeah.
You remember what he had in his nutsack?
Did he have the pump for his penis?
Yes.
Yeah.
He had a penis pump.
Yeah.
Larry Flint, God rest his soul. He's up there.
Pioneer.
He's playing ping pong with Abe Lincoln right now. Right now.
I think you mean Hitler.
I mean, Abe Hitler, one of the craftiest politicians ever to come down the pike. Yeah, he's up there with George Washington and John Denver just playing Connect Four right now, if I know that Larry Flint. But Larry lost the use of his penis, and so he had a pump installed. But I asked him where the pump, how do you, and it was in his nutsack, was the, yeah.
Manual, or do you just hit a button? I feel like that's an important
There's-
pump.
there's-
That'd be a manual.
They used to be more manual. Now there's kind of a
Just
switch.
like just a
Yeah.
switch. Okay, good.
What do you mean
Note
just
to
a
self.
switch?
Like it's fluid, and you push it, and the fluid goes.
Yeah, but you still got to pump the fluid.
Somehow I think they've got an
No, they don't. I know more than you. They don't.
I haven't seen one.
They
in a
don't
long
have a
time.
little pump in there. It
You
doesn't
wanna-
run off
you wanna have an
electricity.
accurate PSI. You want to make sure it's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll bet it's fluid,
Yeah.
but they still got to have a reservoir, and you got to give it a couple of
Well,
shots.
then definitely when he had one, it was definitely a pump.
Yeah.
He told us all about
I
it.
hope he's not dyslexic. Imagine grabbing the wrong ball and coming down on it. Oh, like, and
They have other ones that pump from the tip, too.
they have tip pumpers?
Yeah.
Wow. What won't they think of? What is it? Wait, from the head?
I don't know. I've never really gotten involved in that world.
All right, well,
but-
then be
You seem
quiet.
to know a lot about
I
it.
don't know. Yeah, you seem to be an expert.
No expert, no.
All right. So anyway, if you lose your erection or your ability to achieve one, there's a hydraulic pump that can be
And
inserted.
the urologists claim those are some of their happiest patients.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah. I agree. I don't know. It's got to be weird though because.
Because you have a pump in your testicle.
Yeah, sure.
Well, all these guys, I mean, they're very skilled surgeons, obviously, you know, and at some point, that kid was like 21 and he was like going into med school and he had a head full of great ideas. And he's like, I'm going to Africa to save kids with hair lips and do reconstructive surgery on people that stepped on landmines. Now he's in Beverly Hills
Yeah.
with Larry
It's all
Flint spread
big
out. He's
bumps.
handling his cock, you know.
Yeah.
Somebody's dabbing his forehead. That's what I'd do. I'd make sure I had someone dabbing my forehead constantly. I don't know what happened to forehead dabbing. That was a big part of surgery when I was young. Everyone that did surgery had their forehead dabbed. Now there's almost no forehead dabbing. Come on, Drew.
Sorry, I'll bring it back.
Yeah, what's up? Goddamn Central Air.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
So, Donald Trump.
Oh.
Donald Trump, I heard.
Excellent transition.
I heard you're going after Letitia James.
What a nasty woman. She's such a nasty woman, that Letitia. That's so terrific. She came after Trump first. I don't know if you know this, but she came after Trump.
Yeah,
Not a good idea. Not a good idea at all.
not good.
Don't come after Trump.
No,
That's so
no.
terrific.
Had to take a mug shot.
And she's a 2. You know, she's a 2. I'll tell you, the most important thing for a woman is to be a beautiful. You're a beautiful woman right here. She's terrific. But that Letitia, she's probably a 2. I'd give her
I got it. I want to
her
give.
a
I want
2.
to. Donald, I want to give the 2 her due. She has an ample bosom. I mean that.
She's got an ample everything. You know, if everything's ample, the bosom doesn't count. Adam, you know this. You know this. It's the tiny ladies with the big tits. That's for me. Okay? Just being honest. Don't act like you don't like it, boys. Suddenly, they pulled back on me on that. They really pulled back.
Yeah, well, you may have
Sort of
crossed the line,
abandoned
Donald.
me there.
You know. Well, let's move on to a happier subject. I mean, with this whole Middle Eastern thing coming to a close, I mean, Nobel Peace Prize. Come on, Donald. Nobel Peace Prize for you.
Did that happen? I don't.
Oh, yeah. No, they got.
That happened? I
Geez,
gotta get out more and watch TV more.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what side of the issue you guys are on, but one side is returning their live hostages, and the other is returning their dead hostages. Which is, you're not dealing with a great organization when they're like, I don't know where all the hostages are. They're kind of spread out, like in the ground. But we'll see if we can find them and return them. Oh, okay, Hamas, thank you. So he may get the Nobel Peace Prize. And he's pissed because he feels like Obama got it for doing nothing.
Well, he
you know?
did.
Absolutely
Yeah.
nothing. What did he do?
Vibes.
Tell me one thing he did. What do you say? Vibes?
Yeah, you got it for vibes.
He had good vibes. I doubt that. I doubt that very. You know,
Right. But
you're
you
a
stunned.
nasty woman that's saying that to me. That's a terrible thing to say to Trump. That's a terrible thing.
Nobel Peace Prize. Now, if he does get the Nobel Peace Prize, don't anyone watch Fox that day. Definitely watch MSNBC because that's where the entertainment's gonna come in.
Yeah.
Was it a war? Was it a skirmish?
Yeah.
It felt a lot more like a skirmish than a war to me.
Why peace in the Middle East might actually be bad.
We think there should be a 3-state solution, but he only got to 2.
Think of all those people who lost their jobs.
Yeah. What about the hostage takers, the hostage
Yeah.
keepers, the hostage feeders, the ones that have to
All
put up the hostages?
unemployed.
Yes, all out of work now
Yep.
because of Trump
Thanks to Trump.
and his evil ways. All right, and okay, we'll keep going. Hey, Bill Maher.
Oh God, I've got to come.
Why do I do this show so much?
Yeah,
I
I
feel
know.
like I do this show every 2 weeks.
Yeah, you're always making fun, but here you are, criticizing.
Great to be here.
Yeah, you know,
I'm so excited to be here with all you people.
I know.
It's
He
like
always...
an Asperger's convention out here.
So, Bill, I don't know if you heard, you know, I'm a pretty accomplished stand-up.
Oh, here we go.
And,
This is what he does.
well, I
He
do stand-up.
compliments himself.
No, I'm
for like 10 minutes. Let me just prepare everybody. He's gonna compliment himself.
Listen,
Say what a great comic he is.
I'm
when
s-
nobody thinks that.
okay, first
It's
off...
not comedy to rant into a microphone for an hour.
Okay,
You have
I
to
am-
craft jokes.
Okay, I'm a celebrated stand-up. and-
Celebrated by who?
I mean, the masses. I mean, I would say, okay.
Oh,
I don't-
shut
thank
up, you
I-
pandering people.
I
They're
don't-
all pandering to you.
Okay, I don't have to prove to you about this. I'm just saying later on, I'm doing a stand-up show, and Dr. Drew's going to do stand-up
Oh,
for the first...
Dr. Drew.
Are you?
Yes,
Really?
yes. He's
Another
doing
comedy
stand-up.
giant.
Oh, I'm.
Dr. Drew.
He's, you know...
Oh, yeah.
He's going to do 4 minutes of, I'd say, original.
That's gonna be
but
the
it's
longest 4 minutes of your life.
Pretty much.
Is this a bringer show?
No, people paid. People paid.
You
good
gotta
money.
bring 5 friends to get on stage.
Bill, any tips for Dr. Drew? Are you going to hang
Yeah,
around
I
a
got one tip. Don't do it. It's gonna be very
tried.
painful,
I
and
tried.
nobody's gonna like you.
No, that's about
Okay.
the best that could happen.
Or just rant about how there's no God. Okay? He doesn't exist. That's one of my best jokes.
Can you guys tell me, I think I came up with a compromise today that I like. Like, I'm a problem solver at heart, and I this happened today, and I want your intake on this.
Who are you
Or
looking
input,
at?
I should
All of
say.
us?
All of you. All of you.
Okay.
Okay. I went down the street to a coffee place this morning, and the guy behind the counter had a little soup Nazi to him. You know what I mean? And I ordered a latte, and then I said, "Could you make it with cream?" And he just did the cream, as if it was a foreign word to a guy who worked at a coffee place, you know. And I said, "Yeah, can you do a latte with cream?" And he goes, "No cream, milk." And I said, "Oh, okay. Well, maybe I'll just get a regular coffee and I'll put some cream in it." And he goes, "Well, what do you want?" And I said, "Well, if you have cream, I'll just put cream in the regular coffee." And he goes, "Well, what is it?" And I panicked. And I said, "Well, just give me the regular latte the way you like it, stir it with your dick." You know what I mean? I'm fine. I'm sorry. And he was like, "Okay." And I did the thing with the credit card, and he swapped the thing around, and it said 20% tip, 25%. It started at 20. No, we're out of the teens, everybody. We have graduated well past the teens. We got 20, 25, and 30. Right, and I looked at it, I was like, this guy's a prick, you know?
Yeah.
But then it said no tip. And I was like, but I was a little hesitant, like, you know, there was a cultural thing. I didn't think I hated his tribe or whatever it was, you know. I didn't want to touch the no tip, so I panicked. I just hit the 20%, which he did not deserve. Would you guys, and I started thinking, well, what would be satisfactory to me? Because, 1%, no tip feels weird. Would you guys like this? I came up with this. What about you didn't get what you wanted, and there would be a spin the wheel tip. It'd be 1 to 15%. And you could walk away, you'd be like the guy in the firing squad who got the blank bullet. Like you don't know if it's gonna be 14 or 15% or 2%. It wasn't me that did, the wheel in the sky made it 1% or 2%. You know what I mean? I would spin, I'll take it one button that is like, this is subpar service, but you don't want to go full Grinch, no tip. I will go 1 to 15% and let the gods decide what this asshole gets. And also provide a little entertainment. And then also a little satisfaction. Like if I just hit it and went and then was 2%, I'd go, fuck yeah. And I'd feel good about myself.
You would need at least one 00. slot, though, right? You'd have to have like a 50% in there so the staff doesn't get pissed at.
No, because if they did a killer job, you go 30%.
All right, okay.
We can do that.
Okay.
But this is sort of between not wanting to go full no tip, but this isn't 20% territory.
I got another wheel. This would be a big screen, but another wheel where it's got like all 1% tip. And then $1,000, but it's like 100 ones.
Right.
So all day is nervous.
Right.
Oh, one.
Right.
Someone's gonna get, and then someone has to pay the $1,000.
Let's go further. All ones, $1,000. Makes love to your wife. You know what I mean? And you got to make that phone call, like, honey. Oh shit, are you at work already?
Yeah, also,
cafe
like,
latte on
depending on who your wife is, that could be a win or a loss.
Yeah, take my wife at the coffee shop. Spin this wheel.
That was my favorite part about the whole P. Diddy trial, is how he was able to convince his lady friend, like, look, I can't win, like, with every woman I've ever been with, I can't win the Thai food versus Italian food argument. Forget I'm going to hire my porn buddy called the Crusher to come over from Henderson, and he's going to pound the daylights out of you while I beat off and watch. He was able to propose that and get a thumbs up, which is, he should sell timeshares or something. I mean, that's a lot. That's a tall order, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He is a very persuasive chap, is what I would say. And by the way, how do you even broach that? Because you can't do it all at once.
I think you start with, hey.
Yeah, all right.
And then I'm not really sure beyond that.
You say a friend does it, like, you think it's weird that my friend...
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
What do you think about Bob doing that? And then...
Yeah.
I've never done that. I'm just saying I thought of that right now.
You know what's good? A good entree, too, is you're not uptight, are you? Because everyone goes, no.
Right.
And then right after that's good. Good, because I got a strap on that I'd like to, you know what I mean? Once you get the not uptight, then we're cool.
That's
So
a great thing.
let's start it
You're
there.
not uptight, are you? It's a great
Yeah.
thing for
Right.
any time you want someone to be not uptight.
Didn't drugs figure into this somewhere?
Oh, drugs?
Oh, yeah, that.
I guess there were some drugs. I don't know what happened with the baby oil. He made a run on it. He did with baby oil what we all did with toilet paper during COVID. We just made a run. You know what I mean? Like,
Stocked up.
he was scared that somebody was going to take all the baby oil. I don't think there's any way I'd get Chris out to the rape trial. Do you, Drew? You know
Get
my
her to
mom
make you a
little bit.
lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Mm.
Oh.
All right.
Wait, let's ask.
Yeah.
Let's do the panel here. But speaking of lunch, let's do your shit sandwich interview.
Oh, I found a shittier sandwich than your mom made.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me lay this on the crowd
All right.
here, and I'm gonna share a little with
This
the
think hard here.
All
left
right.
side of the room
I always
here.
do.
You guys paid the same amount as these assholes. Why are they getting all the love? All right, so here's what I came up with. Because there's lots of ways you can kind of measure a mom's love for her son or daughter, your childhood, or was your mom a nurturing? And people tell stories. Oh, they take me to hockey practice, my mom at 5, every morning, and all that stuff. But it gets murky. So I just distilled it down to what kind of sandwich she made you. And if she spent a lot of time and a lot of love, because all it really is yes, it's a sandwich, it's sustenance and everything, but it's really just effort. If she's, for instance, Drew and I didn't know there was such a thing as toasting bread on a sandwich.
We were like, what?
Evidently, there's
Are you-
mothers who love their sons to the point where they actually toast the bread.
I didn't know there was anything except white bread.
So I didn't know. And we started to break it down. And if you talk to some people, they'll go, oh, my mom toasted the bread, and then she made her own Dijonnaise mustard. And it's like, and then, of course, the mother loved the shit out of that person because it was just commensurate with everything else and the time spent. Because it equals, a sandwich is really time spent on your child and loving, and there's nothing in it for you, right? Except for a happy child. Okay, so 10 is the best. Drew's mom did a shit sandwich.
Shit
right?
sandwich.
Right?
Yeah.
Which was what?
bologna, one piece of bologna, 2 pieces of white bread.
Okay, so you had shit sandwich.
Shit, Sam. No ketchup. No.
So I don't want to be a
Shit
one.
sandwich.
I don't want to be a one downer, but I'm 0 sandwich. My mom did 0. There's such a thing. There's lower than shit
Beans
sandwich.
lower than 0?
You got me beat.
They actually put shit in the sandwich?
All right, well, hold on. I found out, I talked to a guy in Vegas, Izzy, whose mom did white bread, American cheese, ungrilled, and
Really?
grape jelly.
Oh, nice.
So he may have beat you in the shit sandwich department.
I think once I found potato chips in my bologna sandwich.
Ah,
That's good?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
yeah, that's
that was thoughtful, at
that's
least.
thoughtful. It's a lot of
Okay.
love
All
there.
right, it's a move.
All right, so you and the shit sandwich department are not as low as Izzy,
Yeah.
who got the grape jelly on his sandwich. Kat, what'd you get?
I got various sandwiches, right?
All right,
So I
okay.
Your mom was sick too, though.
But my mom also, one thing about all the sandwiches, no matter what one it was, is she always was yelling at me. Yeah, so I
And
mean.
she handed it to you in the morning?
Yeah, but it like she just would be. I think she enjoyed grounding us for sport, so she would like bait me, you know, into like she'd like be annoying in the morning. So then I would yell, and then she'd be like, "That's it, you're grounded. You're not going anywhere."
Really?
Yeah.
But what did she do? And so she was sporadic in the sandwich department?
Yeah, sporadic. Sometimes it'd be like a really nice sandwich, or it'd be like a BLT that would be toasted with
Toasted.
mayo.
Mayo.
But sometimes it would be like a PB&J on rye.
Oh, okay.
Sounds like a drinker.
No, not even a little bit. Maybe
She
she had
like-
like 1 glass of wine a year, and her tolerance was so low when she drank it, it'd be like she took Molly.
Was she like manic depressive or something?
No.
She wasn't anything.
She was a social worker.
Social worker. Well, they always say the contractor's house is the worst one on the block. I had my dad was a therapist, so I get that.
Yeah, okay.
Kyle, shit sandwich, good
it's
sandwich.
making me think because my mother would cut it diagonally.
Oh, that's a good sign.
Wait, then flip it and make a butterfly.
Oh,
Pretty nice. But a lot of times it was like Wonder Bread, Fluffernutter, and peanut butter, and that's a marshmallow sandwich,
Right,
which is very unhealthy.
right.
But it's good.
Your mom was a gay man?
Yeah,
it's a butterfly, honey.
Fluffernutter.
So the diagonal cut is good.
Yeah.
It shows effort.
Yeah, but
I'm
then
not sure the butterfly wing works.
Oh yeah, that's more effort because you have to cut it and you have to
That would
flip it.
That would freak me out.
The butterfly.
I couldn't do
Wait,
that.
so how do you fold it? How do you get the butterfly?
You just
effect?
diagonal and then you just flip it and it makes a butterfly.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
My
My
mother
mom
loved
would do
me.
a caterpillar, but never a butterfly. Thank you. All right, so love. I mean, what were we giving her? 4.5?
What is
5?
that? A 5?
The best is, a 10 is toasting
Yeah.
bread and
No,
cutting.
Cat
cutting.
sometimes got a 10.
Okay.
Yeah,
I know,
it
but
was
she
either a
sometimes
10
got
or
a
a
2.
0. Yeah.
So she evens
I would say
out.
7. You know,
7
if I were to
sandwich?
Ballpark it.
All right, so we
7.
have someone here who says he's below a 0.
Actually, mine was worse because my brother had a peanut allergy, so sometimes it was jelly with soy nut butter.
Oh.
I blocked that one out, and I just remembered it.
block
That's
it
how
out.
bad it was.
Yeah.
Trauma makes us forget.
All right, what is worse than 0 or shit sandwich, sir?
My brother's finger.
She know what a hamburger was? Was she from someplace? In the Caribbean. Oh, so they have like jerk chicken over there or something. I feel like we need to export hamburgers. Maybe to the Middle East. Like maybe if they could lighten up on the goat consumption and go a little more double. You know what I mean? Or Tommy's or Fat Burger. I'd just say they'd put down the guns and pick up a spork, you know what I mean? And we could get to healing. We got to bring In-N-Out to the Middle East. They need something like when the guy's putting on the explosive vest. Someone's got to be like, Habib, we're going In-N-Out this weekend. He's like, oh shit, okay, all right, I'll take it off. Here you go. Where's my explosive vest hanger? There you go, hall closet, right next to the fishing vest. There you go. All right, we're going In-N-Out. But next week the vest goes back on and I blow up the pizza place. And okay, all right, we'll visit that when we get to it. It would work. I know. You want it. You know the worst? I don't know if you guys had this. I had this. I had a wife who would go to In-N-Out, come home with In-N-Out for her and the kids, and not the guy who paid for it. Not the guy who paid for it. And then
Are you seeing the pattern here?
I would smell the In-N-Out. I would just smell the In-N-Out while they all just ate
We
their
marry
In-N-Out.
our mother. That's what
Yes,
we do.
yes.
We marry mother.
That's right. That's right. Did she see what movie? The Bruce movie. Let's see. Oh, the Bruce Springsteen movie. Sorry. There is a movie from the 80s called They Call Me Bruce. Thank you. Yes, I know. But the Bruce movie doesn't come out for 3 weeks. So you saying, did she see it? Yeah, she works at Paramount. She's an editor. She did the sound mixing on it. No, it's not out yet, you fucking bald retard. And there are other movies with
Don't worry, he
Bruce
talks
in
to me
it.
like that all the
right,
time.
Sorry.
All the time. Not the
Sorry.
ballpark.
Guys, come on. It's a Christian podcast.
Sorry.
Family show.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
Christians.
I was thinking about not eating In-N-Out.
That's how I
Kinda-
ended up doing 4 minutes of comedy.
That's right.
That kind of talk.
That's right.
I can't
All
wait
right.
for that.
Ugh.
All right, I wrote something else down. Oh, okay, here's what I want to talk about. This term, so I was learning that the Palisades fire, which I was greatly impacted by, and Malibu Palisades fire, was started by a 29-year-old Uber driver who, Florida guy. By the way, if I work for the FBI and it's like, look, he's fled the state, and I go, where are we going to look? Well, there's a lot of states. Gentlemen, let's save some time. Marty, you go to Florida, I'll go to Alaska. Let's get this guy. Where were we going? To fucking Indiana? I don't think so. Anyone who flees, you go to Florida or you go to Alaska. Why are we wasting our time with this dragnet bullshit? He's not anywhere else but Florida and possibly Alaska. That's my move. I ever end up in Alaska, if I ever end up in Alaska and we're at a trendy Alaskan bar, and I walk in with my lady friend, and the bouncer guy's like, sorry, but there's a 20-minute wait. I'd be like, okay, let me just find us a table, my love. And I would just go, let me just want to use the bathroom inside real quick. And I'd just walk in, and I'd pull my wallet out, and I'd yell, Federal Marshal! And I'd watch everyone dive out of the windows. And then I'd say, my lady, this way. They have a wide open booth. Oh, there's still nachos on it and a pitcher of beer. Wasn't that awesome? And I would sit down and eat for free.
If you've ever been to Alaska, literally everybody has a story.
Oh, they all have a story.
They could be a second generation, but there's a story.
So they found the guy in Florida, and he was an Uber driver, and he started the fire. With the fire, and by the way, they called him on the news a firebug. Firebug's a little euphemistic and cute for a guy who's killed 12 people and did $200 billion worth of damage and devastated a region. Look at the little firebug. Look at him. He loves sparklers, this one.
Sounds adorable. Yeah.
Go get your Bic, Tommy. Come on, show him what you can do with that Bic lighter, you little firebug, you. Get out. Come on, it's almost bedtime now. How about some hot tamales, my little firebug? I bet you like that, don't you? Yeah, I like arsonist better than firebug.
Yeah.
But sounds like a dance from the 20s. Hey, the Flappers are doing a firebug. Come
Yeah,
on.
see?
Yeah, see?
Couple of firebugs, see? Yeah.
Hey, 20s gangster guy. Yeah.
Let's get some tile. Let's tile this place.
Hey, I got tile. Hey, what's
This
up
place
with
needs
all,
more tiles, see?
what's up with all the tile?
Cat's like, what's that joke?
You missed it.
Earlier,
I-
Cat. Earlier.
All right. So hold on.
Call back.
It is good job security. Like when they start building the subways, like my husband got a job as a groutist.
And for the next 30 years.
For the next
company or
150
contract.
years, all he's going to be doing is grouting.
Got it.
Okay, all right.
I missed it.
All right, hold on. So they caught the guy, but I'd like to blame the guy because he was a firebug and everything. But he started the fire on New Year's Day. The fire department rolled on it, allegedly put it out, and then a week later, everything's burned to the ground. So in terms of that guy, there's an element of sort of, well, if the guys had done their job, then we wouldn't be in this predicament, you know?
But maybe we could make it go up the food chain and blame the mayor for not giving the fire department enough resources. So they couldn't have gone back for a
hold
week.
on. Drew, it's not her fault. She's in Uganda.
Right, that's right.
You
That's where she
understand?
was.
She's
Yeah,
the mayor
blame
of
a woman who's
Uganda.
not
You
there.
understand?
Yeah.
She's trying on ceremonial garb and learning the dance that the elders passed down from years before. She's learning to walk with a gourd on her head. Okay? So let's not blame her
Right,
for what's
right.
going on in
Too.
California. You understand, Drew?
I understand.
Watch your mouth. Gavin Newsom, good dude. He's gonna run for president, you know, or something.
Did you guys ever see Adam mix it up with Newsom? Oh my God, fantastic!
Yeah, I think Newsom's assistant hit me this weekend and said he was coming on the 12th of never. No. Yeah, he's not coming back on. Which again, it's like my whole thing is if okay, first things first. All you guys do is speak truth to power, but you're scared shitless of Joe Rogan. So what is it? Like, go find the power and go speak some fucking truth to them. Or are you scared because somebody has ideas and your ideas suck? Like, all they do is talk about speaking truth to power, but they won't go anywhere that's not friendly. And by the way, friendly is not the power structure. You got to go find the power and go speak truth to them, but they don't really possess the truth. And
Katie Porter
She's
did
the
it.
next governor. Katie Porter.
Porter.
That's my girl
She
right
is.
there.
You like her?
I
She
mean,
is the best.
it's amazing to be like the fact that she thinks that was an okay way to behave on camera. It's almost inspiring.
Yeah,
Right?
she had somebody ask some follow-up questions.
Yeah, that's
and
it.
got-
A follow-up question made her turn into that. She's a beast.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. It shows what the environment is and what they're used to. Because
Right,
the
exactly.
idea that a reporter doing their job and asking a follow-up question is so grossly offensive to them.
Yeah.
And they take like insane umbrage. It's sort of like if a king from olden days showed up at a modern airport and like lit a cigar. You know, and then somebody from Southwest would come around and go, hey, you got to put that cigar out. And he'd be like, off with her head? She must be killed. They'd go, put the cigar out. Okay, well, now you're going to be drawn and quartered. I was nice. I was going to give you the guillotine, but now I'm in a bad mood. Like, that's what they thought. It's like it shows that they've never seen reality before. And yeah, she did an interview, and somebody asked her a follow-up question. She got angry, but there is another clip where she yelled at her staff.
Get out of my fucking shot.
Right, and that made me I did kind of like her after that,
Yeah.
because I like when people are needlessly cruel to underlings, because
Yeah.
I do a lot of that, and we did bond. We kind of bonded over that, so we're kind of back now.
I feel like she thinks she's killing it right now, though,
Mm-hmm.
because who's gonna tell her she's not?
Oh yeah, you're gonna get yelled at.
Yeah, absolutely. None of them make enough money to put themselves through that.
Yeah, well, you know, it could get worse in California, because I think she's worse than Newsom. Do you?
It could be. Or maybe she's what we need. I don't know. It's so fucked up in California. I don't know what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we might need a fat tyrannical bitch to straighten out. California. Drew's right. That's the worst idea I've ever heard, Drew. That's a horrible idea.
Drew
She's a
becomes her
horrible
campaign
person.
manager.
All right, so we do have some news. I also have this thought to share with you guys. Okay. Oh, because I got to talk. Because right now we have an example of a dude crossing his legs like a dude, and then we have a female crossing her legs like a female. Would you? So my thing is when I see Newsom or Obama, that is Barack, or Michelle can't do it because she's got that big hog, But Barack can, because Michelle's got his balls in a mason jar. So he can do it.
I can do it.
Drew, well, okay, and then the cross. So if you see Barack Obama do a speaking engagement, he has his legs like he's got to. I mean, he has to work with a yoga instructor before he goes on stage, and has to have special pants built like Chuck Norris had karate pants in the 70s. He has to have special leg crossing pants to give him enough freedom and flexibility to get that leg. And then Justin Trudeau, he is the king/queen of the deep leg cross, right? So don't tell me it's not a signal. Like it is the male, hey, LGBT community, I am down with the cause. Like I am down, and that's how I cross my legs. So I was thinking, and you guys go, me. For women, it's the nose stud. It's the hoop that is on the frenulum. Is that a frenulum here, Drew? Yeah, you can use the microphone if you like, Drew. It amplifies your voice.
Didn't want to interrupt.
Yeah, we're doing, yeah.
That gig later's not going to go so good without the microphone.
Wait a minute, is that Stallone or Rodney?
Yeah, I don't do a great Rodney.
No, it's
I'm
pretty
losing
good.
it over here.
No, it bleeds a little into the Stallone. Wait, what's Stallone sound like?
Yo, I get no respect, you know what I mean? I'll tell you.
Oh, you're doing Rodney Stallone.
My Dr. Goombats, I'll tell you.
Stallone
Great.
Dangerfield.
I think that's a thing.
Sly Dangerfield.
So
Do you ever hear Dan Soder does a Rodney that he does woke Rodney Dangerfield?
Oh, no.
And it's like,
I'll tell you, he gets no respect. People of color, I'll tell you.
it's so funny. Anyway, go ahead.
That's funny. Drew, you should use that when you do your 4 minutes.
Do that.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm stealing stuff.
So the nose piercing on the woman in the front frenulum there is the equivalent signaling to the guy who's doing the deep leg cross.
Okay.
Like you're saying to the world, here's how I vote, here's the community I'm down with, you know my sensibilities,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
They're both, I'd say, kind of equal. Like they're both as accurate. Predictive. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
I'll use that in my comedy.
You'll use the word predictive. Yeah.
It worked.
All right. I think we have some news over here.
Yes.
Andrew's sitting behind the mic in the back of the room, and he's got some news that we can all weigh in on.
Yep. This from the New York Post. Health and Human Services Secretary RFK Jr. claimed Thursday there may be a link between circumcision and autism
I saw this.
due to the distribution of Tylenol post-procedure.
Oh. See, first, I love but I do like an idea where I go, circumcision, get the fuck out, and then I go, ooh, Tylenol, okay, all right. You want to know the best circumcision story I've ever heard?
No.
I'll limit it to 18 minutes. Howie Mandel, you know this one? You do. Howie Mandel had a circumcision at his house, his son, I guess, unless he's just luring strangers into his living room with a moil. But I bet it was related to him. By the way, Howie Mandel, that guy won't even shake your hand. How's he going to do with the foreskin? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, I don't feel like that'd be good territory for him. But he said that he got his son circumcised at the home, and then as tradition would have it, they take it to the backyard and they bury it in the backyard.
Yeah.
No, the baby.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, no shit. I didn't think I had to make that distinction, Drew. Yes,
the penis.
they take the son and they put him head down into the earth, and a foreskin tree will spring up. And that's why no Jews see their first birthday. No man.
If somebody's penis was run over, for example, that would be foreskin.
So you wouldn't
roadkill.
harvest a foreskin, but if you found.
Absolutely never let a foreskin go to waste. That's what I hope we can get that out here
So
today.
RFK Jr., let me paint a scenario. Let's just say you dropped off a dead bear at the woods and put a bicycle by it over in
Underneath
Central
it.
Park,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, right.
You put a bear there, and then later on you went to the beach and you found a dead whale and it cut its head off, and then you put it in the sunroof.
Oh,
and then,
so far, very normal stories. Go ahead.
right. This is called a Tuesday.
Typical
This is
Tuesday.
A Tuesday.
Yes.
And you put the garbage bags over your kids so you could get home
Right.
without the whale
Father
juice
of
as
the
you
year. Go
Right.
ahead.
And then on the way home, you passed a foreskin in the road.
Oh, Jesus. This is like Sophie's Choice here. Hold on a second. Now, if I stop too quickly, the whale juice will go flying over the windshield. But here's what I would do.
Okay.
I would lower my speed of my whalehead car and have my 8-year-old open the door. And as we go by the foreskin, I would tell my 8-year-old, who I had a plastic bag over her head, to grab the foreskin off the road.
Okay. All right.
There's no other way.
Yeah. No, it's okay.
If I had another choice, I would
There
do
are
it.
no other. No, I get it. You're kind of
Making a lot of
backed
sense.
in. Yeah. So Tylenol causes this autism, in your belief.
Cutting the foreskin
Well, I'm
off
asking,
it.
yeah, the foreskin.
You
got
need the
d-
foreskin to not have the autism. That's why if you blend it into a juice, and it really doesn't taste that bad. I've had several foreskin in my day.
You have a foreskin smoothie, is what you're saying.
Yes, or you can put it in a soup. I don't want to tell you how to get it down, but
Right. But the consumption of foreskins prevents autism.
well, you need it on your body not to have autism.
Okay.
So once the foreskin comes off,
Yeah.
autism goes in, and you
What-
need to put the foreskin
it's
back
like-
in your body.
Right.
It's called science, Adam.
Understood, but now what about the ladies? Because there's autistic ladies as well. Do we feed them the foreskin?
I wasn't aware that there were ladies with autism, to be honest with you.
I think I've
I haven't
I
studied
married one.
everything. I know I'm the head of health, but I haven't studied everything.
That's true. All right. Well, I think ladies.
Let me write this down.
How does
Women
it
have
break
autism
down
too.
ladies and men with autism? What percentage are we talking about here?
A little higher in men.
A little higher,
not
but
mad.
1 in 4, someone says.
one and
Oh, mostly female?
what about
So it's
what about dyslexia amongst audience members? True, is that where that's off the charts? We got hit with a certain strain in New York City that affected Rodney's Comedy Club. All right, so it's 25% women. All right, so they got to get some foreskins in their diet too, right?
Well, we should up that number. It's probably a good idea.
How? What's it like being married? I know when Cheryl Hines. You know what I mean? From
Overrated.
Curb Your Enthusiasm. You know, I got to tell you, I became a fan. You know when I became a fan of yours? Because I did your comedy. We did a whole fundraiser for, comedy, autism laughs or whatever they do. No, we raised money, and I talked to you on the phone and stuff like that. Good dude. But where I really fell in love with you is when you were on CNN and they were trying to ambush you about saying something about Nazis. And, CNN gets the footage and then chops it up.
Right,
And then
yeah.
makes you look like you're saying Heil Hitler,
Right.
at a rally.
When you just really just said,
that's
"How you
something all
doing,
good
Hitler?"
news agencies do. They get the footage and then they chop it up and make it look
Right.
like something else because they're just hard-hitting reporters over there. But you said something that was awesome because the female news anchor was like, this was really offensive, this whole thing, comparing to COVID to Nazi Germany. And she goes, and your wife, Cheryl Hines, even said it was bad. And then he just goes, she was wrong. And all politicians are so pussy whipped, it was refreshing to have him just call his wife a dumb bitch.
I'll tell you, and a lot of people will probably agree with me, it really fuels the orgasm if you're fighting with your partner.
Yes, that's
It's
right.
not to be graphic. I
The
know this
orgasm
is
for her boyfriend, or
just a good fight will
Yeah, right.
really make me rock it off.
All right,
Sorry, I know this is a
what else?
Christian
What else is
podcast.
in the news? It's a Christian podcast.
This is from Fox News. OnlyFans surging on college campuses sparks new safety fears as experts warn of hidden dangers such as stalkers breaking into creators' homes and living in attics.
Oh, they're going Bad Ronald. Deep cut 70s movie of the week. I like the euphemistic titles, OnlyFans. Like, how'd they come up? Like, when they were coming up with the idea, like, how about we call it Pathetic Guys Who Beat Off?
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no bad ideas. Okay, what else?
Okay,
What
what
else?
Guys with bad skin and extra cash who like to stroke their meat.
Closer.
Schlubs that can't land a bitch.
Okay, we're getting colder on that one.
Okay. All right. Guys who don't have enough money to buy a prostitute but do have a smartphone. This
Yeah,
one's
a
already
little
too wordy.
shorter
Yeah.
for the
Yeah, You're
website.
right. You're right. I don't want.
After all,
Yeah.
these are only their fans.
Oh, hey. Wait, did you hear what Stu said?
Wait, Stu's never had a good idea.
I know. I was about to send him out on a Chinese
God,
food run, but
OnlyFans, that's
he said
beautiful.
it's only their. How about that?
I love that. OnlyFans.
No, only their fans.
It's
Only their fans.
Only their fans.
What does that mean?
That's what we're going to call it. Only their fans.
Only their fans.
No, let's just call it OnlyFans.
But there's what?
Like they did with,
Yeah, take
like
the
they did
there
that
out of
movie
it.
with Facebook, where Justin Timberlake said,
Yeah.
"Get rid of the Facebook."
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Now get the Chinese food.
Okay, got it.
All right. I think we got this. OnlyFans. Yeah, that's a good name. All right. Sorry. So, I listen. First off, I don't judge any woman who uses her body to make money when the alternative is something that's low paying and involves leaving your apartment.
yeah.
Because
Yeah, well,
I don't-
OnlyFans is a lot like back in the day. People used to have to do boots on the ground sex work.
yeah, I know.
Now you don't even gotta touch a penis.
No, I know.
And then that was stripping. You
Yeah.
can do that. Now you have to do that even.
Nope.
Or if you want to, you can do it.
You don't have to have a
in your
penis
bedroom.
then. Anywhere
But like,
near you.
think. I mean, let's look at this through the lens of a 19-year-old Adam Carolla.
Oh boy.
No, when I was 19,
You would never leave the house.
I didn't have any money.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't do anything.
What would you do? You'd be in the
I
attic.
walk-
You'd be Bad Ronald.
I walk quiet, Drew. I want to apologize. Usually I apologize in advance for Dr. Drew. I would be walking, looking for jobs on a construction site, and then at some point for $7 an hour with taxes taken out, I just got a job digging ditches and moving drywall and cleaning up garbage out in the sun in the San Fernando Valley. But if someone said, you could just go home and pull your dick out and like wave it around a camera and air conditioning and
hard
make
to say
10
no.
times the money, I would have gone for sure.
You might have to have gotten more creative than that.
Okay, let him see a nut. I don't care. I get it. Well, that's why I would have
You
you
could
consult.
upsell to the nut.
Upsell to the nut?
The way you do it. You gotta
Yeah.
upsell.
Yeah, I mean, but also, when I was 19, if someone would have said, look, all you got to do is go into Tijuana, put a balloon of heroin up your ass, and come back, we'll give you $3,000. I would have definitely done it. Yeah. All right, sorry. What else, Andrew?
Okay, thanks to a new California law, you won't have to scramble to turn down the volume when a commercial comes on a streaming platform. Oh. New California law limits the volume of ads on streaming platforms. This law comes into effect July 2026.
I love how I want to be at that city council meeting or the California meeting in Sacramento when I would be like, all right, people, here's what we got on the docket. We got this homeless situation.
The whole city burned
I
down.
got the cities burned to the ground. I just got a report on my desk this morning about the bubonic plague.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rats infected with the bubonic plague. Also, there's a new thing, I think these street takeover things where these guys steal Dodge Chargers and they do donuts in the intersection and a bunch of teenagers get run over and stuff. And there's the volume that comes on for these
Yes.
commercials when people are looking at their browser.
Stu, what do you think we should start with?
What do you think,
Stu?
Stu? What do you think? The commercials?
I only heard the commercial. That's
All right,
I
if
heard.
there's time permitting, we can talk about pulling permits and rebuilding the Palisades.
No.
But we have a limited amount of
Boring.
time. Limited amount of time. Homeless, yada, yada, yada. I get it. Olympics coming to town. Great. China's eating our lunch. Fantastic. But let's really focus. Let's dance with who brung us. The insignificant shit that nobody gives a fuck
Yeah.
about. Okay,
love
that's
that.
what I'm
I
here
love
to
that.
solve.
We're changing the
all
name of the
right?
state to that.
Yeah, that's right. It was one time. It was a funny thing when I interviewed Gavin Newsom. It was a funny thing because I realized politicians are used to saying things that sound important,
Right.
but they don't make sense. So I go, listen. At a certain point, I just go, look. I want gas prices to come down. I want to fix this homeless problem. I want to fix the potholes in the roads. I want you to work big to small. Okay, well, you can get to that shit later on. You know, if you want to trans some illegal prisoners, by all means, but do it later. Wait, because, you know, it impacts my life, but not as much as potholes and homelessness, you know? So I go, just work on the big stuff, and then you can get down to the granular stuff. And he looked at me, and he chuckled, and he goes, Adam, I like to work small to big. And then he, like, literally thought there's going to be an applause break. But I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. This is working small to big, right? And it always reminded me, if you say stuff with enough sort of self-assurance and gravitas, people will agree with you. And I was doing a Crank Anchors call a million years ago. Hold your applause, please. And I was doing a Crank Anchors call a million years ago. And I was talking to a funeral home, and I was trying to make arrangements for my mom, and the woman I was talking to, I was just like, I miss her so much, and she's like, I know, and I go, no son should have to bury a mother. And the person went, I know. And I realized it's all in the delivery. That's what Gavin Newsom says. He says bullshit that makes no sense, but he does it with such fucking gravitas that everyone goes, oh, he's so right. Yeah, let's take care of the miniature stuff before we get to the huge stuff that's plaguing us all. All right, you have one more there, Andrew?
Yeah, the Palisades fire suspect, 29-year-old Jonathan Rinderneck, will be held without bond.
Rinderneck's tough.
Jonathan.
Yeah, at some point, let's just call you John. You know what I mean? I felt that way when Jeffrey Toobin got caught beating off.
Toobin.
I was like, hey, at what point can we call you Jeff? You know, this is not really a Jeffrey type. You beating off on a Zoom call with a bunch of colleagues while day drinking that's more of a Jeff move.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, that's a lord
And then
of the land, you know?
He came on TV after to talk about it, and he wore a tie. And I was like, I could never, first of all, if I did that, I would be fired. But to have the confidence to then go on TV again and be like, yes, I did, I jerked off in the meeting, but this is why I need to be respected again.
Yeah.
I don't get that, though. His apology didn't make sense. Like, what was he apologizing? That he didn't know how to turn off a camera?
Yeah.
He acted like
He didn't say
did
much.
something
He didn't
wrong. Like, yeah, and she was like, what were you thinking? Like, she doesn't masturbate and knows how to work cameras good.
When I was on Zoom calls during COVID, I'd be like, oh my God, I'm sorry, I look so crazy. Like, I don't have any makeup on. Like, oh my God, I'm a mess. Meanwhile, this dude's like, I'm sorry, I forgot to turn off my camera before jerking off in the meeting.
He's like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He talks like, I don't know what. I'm going to go to therapy to learn how to work a camera right.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense.
But this guy's last name is what?
Toobin.
No, Toobin.
Rinderneck.
Rinderneck?
Ringerneck?
Rinderker.
He should have been a murderer with that.
Knech.
Yeah, see, this is trouble for his dad. Because Dad, who works at the Jiffy Lube, can't go totally different Rinderneck. I know you've never heard that name, and that's where you're praying to be Johnson or Brown.
Yeah,
That's
you're
the
right.
Wisconsin Ringerneck.
Yeah. We're a proud, fire starting.
His sister cannot start an OnlyFans now.
No, everyone, it's too specific. You can't get away from that name. I always love it when the guy's a junior. Because the guy's like sitting around when the kid, the kid's an infant. He's like, we're going to go with Junior because one day when he wins the Super Bowl and is the MVP of the league, my name's going to be shouted from the heavens. And then the kid goes up to a bell tower and goes on a shooting spree. And now it's your name that's on there. Fuck that. So Dad is not going to be able to live this one down. No. But he's in Florida. Can we not? Do we have to extradite everybody? You know what I mean? Like, we got to get him back to California to put him on. Really? Don't we have enough criminals here? The guy went to Florida. Let's just put him on trial in Dade County and they can fucking do it, right? Tired of bringing everyone back. By the way, we couldn't get Roman Polanski back. We tried to dangle a 13-year-old in front of him. He wouldn't bite. I took a 13-year-old to the airport. They're like, come on. He just looked through the glass on the place like, no, don't do it.
That was a decoy. Trying to have sex.
Wait, what's Chris Hansen sound like?
He sounds like this. Roman Polanski was trying to have sex.
Yes, what?
But that was a decoy.
What was he trying to have?
Sex. He was trying to have sex.
He played
There's like 19 vowels in it.
Sex.
He went to Saks Fifth Avenue?
Not a sex, a sex.
Oh, he was trying to have sex.
He was trying to have sex.
Oh.
And his screen name was Boner95.
That's my favorite part when he pulls out the file of information, like a huge. The guy always starts off with like, I don't even know who this bitch is. I just come over for some Toll House cookies and sweet tea.
That's not what your chat
He's
says.
got smeared
My
off
chat?
That's not what your chat says. I have your chat right here.
Oh, there's a chat? He pulls
It's a
out
very big
reams.
chat log, no pun intended.
Uh-huh.
You say, I want to see your boobs, LOL. They always go LOL too on it.
She told me she was in her 60s.
That's not what the chat says. She said, I'm only 13. You said, great, LOL.
Yeah. You know what? I'm dyslexic. I thought she said 31.
That's not what your chat says. Your chat says, I'm not dyslexic, LOL.
It's such a turnoff. I just wanted to push it up front there. Yeah, all right. Look, I'm not going to do this anymore.
You're free to go. You're free to go.
Oh, I can go?
You're free to go.
I'm free to go?
I mean, there's a giant SWAT team out front, but you're free to go. I'm not holding you here.
No, but can I just go ahead and crawl out of a vent pipe? Do I have to go out the
You
front
have to
door?
go this way. You have to go this way.
But the Fresno
Just right-
Popo is out there.
Right this way, please.
But I'm free to leave?
You're free to go.
You know, you mind if I take some of these Toll House cookies? Because I don't feel like they're going to have them
The
in
only
prison.
cookie you'll be getting is down at county jail.
No, I'm saying I don't think they have cookies at county jail.
That's not what your chat says. Your chat says there's a lot of cookies down at county jail.
And scene.
And we're done.
All right. Kyle Dunnigan, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You can check out his YouTube channel at Kyle Dunnigan. Very funny. And then also Kat Timpf, everybody, on Gutfeld all the time. And where do we find the real CatTimpf.com is where we go for like
That's
live
it.
shows and
Yep,
stuff like that.
absolutely.
Dr. Drew, follow the show on Rumble.
Hey, Adam. We have a surprise for you, courtesy of Rodney's and Tony Caparelli. They want to gift it to you on stage right now.
Tony Caparelli, that guy's a
The one and only.
John. Yeah, he's a good dude. Anyone who's named after a deli meat is okay by me. That's me. Tony Caparelli is a surprise.
So this
for
is
me.
notice the artwork on the wall.
Oh, artwork on the wall. That's beautiful. First off, Jeffrey Toobin's never done a set in his life. Why is there a rendition of him? It's got a little Toobin in him. Well, that's wonderful. I'm honored. You know, I'll tell you what, next time I come to New York, I'm going to bring my kids in here so I can point at that and they could not give a shit. Because that's how those little fucks are.
I did my job, didn't I?
Well, thank you. That's wonderful. And are we going to put it up top?
Well,
No, we're taking it back to
Oh,
Glendale.
we're taking it back home.
Yeah, I'm gonna be carrying that across town tonight.
Oh, okay. Oh, really?
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Drew's got a great couch, so.
He's a good spooner, as I've said. And no, it's heartwarming to have all the people come out of the woodwork and offer you up their home. That is nice.
Yeah.
It's sort of
That's always. It's a good reminder. Oftentimes, I think we all can sit in our, I guess, more down or darker, more negative moments and wonder sometimes, like who does have my back, or who does love me, or like whatever that is. But when tragedy does strike, there can be this incredible awakening even in you of like, wow, these people have me. They'll catch me. They'll catch me if I fall, essentially. It's straight up Cyndi Lauper. Like, they're there. Yeah. And that can be very heartening in the midst of all of it. So I'm glad that you've been feeling that.
Well, most people have this fantasy about sort of attending their own funeral and hearing all the wonderful things that are said about you, but you're gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we'll never have that experience. But the second closest thing to that experience is having your home burned down, because you're still alive, but everyone is still reaching out saying, you know what, come stay with me. It's almost like experiencing your own funeral, like hearing the kind words. I had Kimmel reach out immediately. Drew reached out. Attorney Mark Garagos reached out. Lots of people just reached out and said, "Come stay with me." Which is, again, it's not quite a death, but it's the death of you having a place to go, and it's like hearing a eulogy about you, which is wonderful. The movie, The Unbreakable Boy, it is out February 21st, so it's not in theaters. I watched a trailer, which was very good. I got a preview of the whole movie that was sent to me last night while I was sitting on Dr. Drew's couch, and I tried to watch it, but it had no sound. Just you, opening scene, party, wedding, drinking too much champagne, all silent. And then at some point, I realized there's no sound that went along with this. So then I watched a trailer, which looked very compelling.
Well, I'm bummed that you didn't get the version with sound. Although the version without sound is very avant-garde. It was something we were going for. Hopefully, people will fill in the blanks. No, it's definitely supposed to have sound, and hopefully you'll either get a better link for you to watch, or if you find yourself looking for a movie to go see in the theater, would love you to actually go see it in the theater when it does come out February 21st. It's a very special movie, man. It's very grounded. It's very slice of life. It's a true story about a real family navigating lots of just the human story, what it means to, dig into and work through relationship, through marriage, through having children, through having a child with autism, which is something that is very ubiquitous at this point. Almost everyone in this world either, is touched by autism in some way. Either they have it, their kids have it, their friends have it, their friends' kids have it. And I think that this story is a really beautiful representation of that world. And it's real and it's heartfelt, but it's also heart-wrenching. There's a lot of like grit and darkness that particularly my character Scott has to navigate through to get to the other side, to learn what it means to actually accept himself and love himself, so that he can love and accept his son, and his son helps him on that journey to get to that radical acceptance and that radical love. So it's powerful, man. That's honestly, I'm very proud of nearly everything I've ever been a part of, but I'm particularly proud of this film, and I think it's something that people really need. There's lots of other things to entertain us with, lots of other movies and whatnot, but films like this that are, the whole family can watch it, and it's entertaining for the whole family. There's some stuff that'll be more adult themed that'll be, over a kid's head, but by and large, it's something that I think will keep the entire audience, attentive and resonating with it.
Well, I know these sorts of themes are important to you, and you've written books on them. And I don't know if you would say you struggle with mental illness, or you think about mental illness, or it's I guess it's a fine line between having a fascination with something and or struggling with that. But it's a subject that's important to you.
Oh, yeah. No, listen, I have very much struggled with mental illness throughout my life. I think that I think one of the most important things we need to do, and we're doing a good job of it, I think, as a society, to destigmatize mental illness and mental health at large, is recognizing that mental illness, for the longest time, and this, like movies in the 70s and the 80s, even the 90s, if there was a character that went to a therapist, it was like, oh, they must be a little wacko, oh, they're going to the shrink. Right. Like it was always a joke. It was never really something that was taken seriously. And I think that's in part because mental illness and mental health wasn't really understood all that well until honestly, like the last 20, really 10 years. And we're starting to understand that mental illness is like dental illness. Everybody gets a cavity here and there. Everybody's got something that they're working through, which is why with our mental illness, we need to mentally floss and mentally brush our brains and our hearts and like work through not just trauma from a long time ago, which a lot of us still carry around and aren't realizing it, but even the everyday things that go on, handling your stress, handling your anxiety, handling your fear, handling your depression, your sadness. I mean, there's all of these things. These are universal. There's not a single human on earth that is somehow, incapable of suffering through some of that, even a little bit of that. And that's still mental illness. Mental illness goes from, again, to make a physical comparison, anywhere from cancer to the common cold. Hopefully you're only dealing with some version of mental illness that's like the common cold. It's like a little thing. You're dealing with some anxiety. You can work through it. You're good. But some people have really deep mental illness that is like a cancer in them. And they are no less valuable as human beings. They are no less loved by God. We've got to be able to hold all of that spectrum. And having gone through lots of different trauma throughout my life, things that I was unaware of, things that I needed a lot of healing from. I had a mental breakdown at 37. I didn't want to live and I didn't know why. And I was blessed enough to be able to go to this really wonderful place in Connecticut, and I got 3 weeks of the most intensive life-saving therapy, and it did save my life. And I learned in that moment as a 37-year-old man that I had never loved myself, like actually just, or even liked myself that much. I never thought that. I wasn't actively thinking like, you're an idiot, rather I didn't think I was. But then when you start actually, breaking down what's your self-talk, like I don't know what your self-talk is like, but for me, anytime I'd screw up in a way or I didn't accomplish this or whatever it was, I was constantly beating myself up in my head. You fucking idiot. I can't believe it. But that's all because that's what I was hearing from my parents. And that's because that's what they were hearing from their parents and so on and so forth. It's generational trauma. It's a real thing. So you got to be able to reprogram that stuff. And then you can beat yourself up a lot less and have more grace with yourself, more patience, more kindness, more love. And in doing that, it really transforms you as a human being so that you are a better vessel to then go and be more patient, kind, loving with everyone else.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. We have to figure out where you come from. I sort of come from nothing. So my internal monologue is nothing most of the time, even though I'm also included in the nothing. So it's sort of, it's not low self-esteem, it's no self-esteem, but no self-esteem isn't bad per se, it's just nothing. Whereas low self-esteem is low. I know it sounds convoluted, but it's always sort of felt that way because I come from nothing.
No, I actually understand what you're saying. I think that, there's a difference in coming from a family that, listen, I mean, my family didn't have much. We were a lower middle income family for a lot of my life. And it wasn't something, there are other people that come from a lot, right?
I want you to, just to be clear. There is a sort of monetary a lot. Like there's people who have a lot. They got cars and they got big houses and they go on vacations and stuff. And then there's people that don't come from much financially, but they have a lot. They have a lot of engagement, a lot of, playing catch with your dad at the park is free. It doesn't matter what your tax bracket is. If you did a lot of stuff where your dad threw you the ball, went down to the park, and so on and so forth, then that is a lot. I come from sort of nothing on both ends of the spectrum, financially, but sort of spiritually nothing. But I just want to make sure we're not talking about something sort of financial here.
Yeah. No, I think it's a lot of times it's to your point. I mean, they're two sides of a coin, right? That they can both be a part of what we're talking about. In your case, you're talking about both financially and. Did you not have a dad around? Was that kind of part of your experience?
He was around. He was just on the sofa reading a book and didn't go outside, kind of thing. So I just entertained myself, but I didn't get any overt abuse. I got sort of neglect. Mine was sort of benign neglect, but which is its own form of abuse. But it wasn't that guys that would go into a drunken rage, kind of stuff. But I don't know when you talk about your past, what we're talking about exactly.
Well, it was a lot of psychological abuse. It wasn't physical abuse, but my mother, though she was never fully diagnosed or even diagnosed because she never went to go and really seek the help that I think that she desperately needed. My mother was abused by her mother, was put down relentlessly, psychologically abused relentlessly.
My mother was the same with her mother. Yeah. Very aggressive.
And so in that, my mom did not know how to heal herself of that. And that unfortunately carried on in her life and spewed out of her onto me and my sisters. My mom, I would probably, if I had to take a guess, was probably a borderline personality with narcissistic tendencies. My father was not in my life. My father, he and my mother divorced when I was very young, and he lived many hundreds, if not ultimately thousands of miles away on the East Coast. I would see him for a couple of weeks a year. I knew he loved me, but there was a kind of a non-existence in that relationship with my father. And my stepfather, who was in my life a lot, we did not really have a relationship. And he was also had these narcissistic tendencies, I think, again, ingrained in him because of his relationship with his father, who was a taskmaster and was really harsh and very critical of him. So I had these two unattainable missions. With my stepfather, it was like the bar was so high, I could never get there. And with my mom, it wasn't a bar that was too high, it was this moving target. With borderline personalities, you just never know whatever mood that they're in is going to determine how they react to whatever you tell them. If I came home and my mom was in a good mood and I said, hey, I got into a fight at school, and she'd be like, oh, honey, are you okay? Whatever, like how, let's work through this. If she was in a bad mood, you fucking idiot, I can't believe, why would you do that? You're making us look, it was not a safe place for me to be as a kid. I did not feel nurtured. I did not feel safe. I did not feel like, so eventually you just stop telling your parents anything. You're just dealing with everything on your own. But I would say, even though you may not have gotten that type of, let's say, psychological abusive experience while you were growing up, neglect, as you were pointing out, is in fact its own type of an abuse. Did your dad think that he was doing that to you? Absolutely not. Our parents are doing the best they can with the tools they have that were given to them by their parents. So we've got to have grace in all of that. But also, if you've never talked to a therapist, I'd recommend it. Like, it's something that can help you to work through things that you're not even aware that you're still going through.
Well, it's interesting. You and I have a lot of similarities in our past, and that I realized that I couldn't talk to these people about anything, and they didn't really understand whatever I understood, and I wasn't going to get them to be interested in anything I was interested in. And so thus you're sort of on your own. And there's a vulnerability, kind of a fear of like feeling like I got to protect myself, or I'm going to have to take care of myself because these people aren't going to do that, for me. Yeah. And for me, it was, like I said, there was a spiritual side if they're not going to do anything, but also they don't have any money or anything they can compensate with. So it's sort of 0 for 2 in the taking care of yourself department. I don't know. Now, see, this is an interesting concept or crossroads here, in that many people are charitable and they say, your dad or your stepdad or your mom or your stepmom or whatever, they were doing the best they could. Now, you're right in the sense that they did what they did, and that's what they did, and so it's hard to argue with that's what they did. I don't think my dad or my mom would say they were doing the best they could. They and I'm a parent, and I do, sometimes when it's like, you want to go to your daughter's volleyball game in Orange County and sit there for 9 hours watching 12-year-olds play volleyball, and I think, and then at some point she'll jump in like the night before, and she'll go, Joanne's mom is going to pick us up so you don't have to drive us. And I'll go, oh, okay. And they'll go, yeah, you can show up later, like noon, and watch a few games. And I'll go, okay. And there's a part of me that knows I should set my alarm for 6 a.m. and drive them. That would be the best I could. But I also am thinking about me, and I'm a little bit selfish, and I want to sleep in, and blah, blah, blah. So I don't think either one of my parents would say I did the best I could. They did what they did, and they didn't do it without any malice in their heart. But if you would have given my dad $100 and said, get off the sofa and go play catch with your son, he would have got up and gone out to the yard. So he was like capable of it. So I think there's some sort of balance to strike between forgiveness, knowing how they grew up, especially, but also keep in mind you grew up that way and I grew up that way, and I in no way reflect that attitude with my kids. So there is such a thing as growing up one way and actually being another way as an adult.
Absolutely. And listen, we are all called to continue to challenge ourselves to be better versions of ourselves, right? It doesn't mean just relax and rest on your laurels and be like, well, this is who I am and that's it, and I'm not going to even try. Mm-hmm. So clearly it's not that. But I would say a couple of things. One, I do think the generational trauma or instincts or behaviors, they kind of half-life almost, right? So your parents gave you, whatever this portion of whatever they could give you or gave you. But you're gonna take half of the bad away from that and do twice the good and give that to your kids. And they're gonna take half that bad away, hopefully, and do twice the good and bring that to their kids. So it's bound to evolve. We either, instinctually as humans, you either, and they've done studies on this, you either emulate what your parents were almost to a T, or you rebel against it almost entirely. Very rarely people find a medium in it where they take the good that they got and they get rid of the bad, and then they bring more good, and then it's like a perfect balance. It's difficult, but we're also capable of doing that through working on ourselves, being aware of these things. But going back to the point of, were your parents, my parents, you, me, about to be a parent, are we doing the best that we can? What I would say is your instinct, or this feeling in you of like not being, just jumping out of your seat to want to go to your daughter's volleyball game, right? First of all, there's already grace in that because you got a lot going on and life is tough and you're juggling a lot of things, whatever. But let me pose this to you. Perhaps if your dad showed more interest in getting up off the couch and playing catch with you, or doing those things and being more involved in your life, don't you think at this point in your life, you would be more excited and inclined to want to jump off the couch and go to your daughter's volleyball match? I would say that you would. I would say that part of the reason why you struggle with that is because that was not something that was modeled to you in a really strong and healthy way when you were younger. Does that absolve your father from being not as involved? Not at all. Does it absolve you from struggling with that thing? No, we're still responsible for who we are and what we do, but we have to be willing to look at the evidence of where all those breadcrumbs go, because I think in that's how we work through it. If you can get to a point where you go, wow, okay, why is it that I resist this? What is it that I'm resisting? What is this thing in me that kind of, doesn't just jump up and go like, absolutely, babe, let's go down to that volleyball game? It's not just because you're lazy. It's not just because you don't value that or value her. Or no, there are other things at play in your heart and mind. This is why I think going and talking to a professional is so awesome, because hopefully you found someone that is really good at their job. There's a lot of therapists that are not, but there's a lot of therapists that are really good at it, and they are disinterested third parties that help you to just break through, walk through certain things and be like, hey, maybe this or maybe that. Have you looked at this? Have you looked at that? And in doing that, when you don't have somebody that's biased, that's why friends and family can only go so far. You can only talk to friends and family about things up to a point, because at some point they have agenda, they have bias. It's inescapable. But a disinterested third party can be able to help, work through things. And I think ultimately, I don't know, you might find if you go and examine how you felt abandoned as a kid, and you muscled through it and you made it happen, maybe that leads to feeling a little more release from that past. And maybe you feel a little more like, yeah, let's go to that volleyball game. Who knows? I have no idea.
Well, I am more in the category of do the opposite of what my parents would do. So it's not a modeling thing. It's a sort of probably built-in selfishness that all human beings just kind of want to sleep in. You know what I mean? Like given a choice between sleeping in and getting up at 5:30, most people just want to sleep in. So it's a giving away to the selfishness. There's also an interesting aspect that's like a societal aspect, which is I grew up playing sports. If in Pop Warner football, Little League baseball, and then later high school. But the commitment for my parents, if in fact they wanted to attend a East Valley Trojans Pop Warner football game, which my mom wouldn't attend, but my dad sporadically attended. But the commitment was Saturday, home game, North Hollywood High. They live in North Hollywood. Very short drive, possibly walk to the high school, and then the commitment would be from noon to 1:30, and then you would go home. The New World Order is drive to Orange County from wherever you are in the San Fernando Valley. First game starts at 8 a.m. Kid needs to be there at 7 a.m. And at 3:30 that same day, we'll be figuring out whether we're going into the quarterfinals or not, which means literally door to door, you're talking about a 14-hour pilgrimage. And so some of it isn't just how you were raised or how they were raised. Some of it is like a practical thing, which is people are going,
100%.
We're going to Arizona for the soccer tournament. It's like, we're getting on an airplane? Yes. We're getting a hotel? Yes. How many days we're going to be in Arizona? Depends how many games they win. Could be 3 days. Well, that's not walking to North Hollywood High on a Saturday and being out of there in 90 minutes. So some of it is just not emotional. It's like literally pragmatic. And they've raised the bar so insanely high on like kids' sports that you end up being a bad parent sometimes because you go, I'm not taking a flight to Arizona to watch 9-year-olds play soccer. I have a job, like I can't do it. And then at some point, you're going to experience this. Your wife will go, well, Tom Dillon's dad is coming. And you'll go like, okay, but he doesn't have to be somewhere. I'm working Sunday night. They go, well, the other dads are going. Now they've essentially like built in an argument to your relationship because God forbid you don't take the flight to Arizona, then you're the parent who's not there. And also the kid is like, well, my mom would go to the game in Arizona, but my dad never came. Yeah, but there's a part where your dad was on set and he was providing money so that you could afford the flight to Arizona. It's getting a little cathartic, but you know what I'm saying.
No, bring it. I love it. Bring catharsis. Let's work through it. If you're not going to go see a therapist, at least talk to me. Listen, you're not wrong. There are so many variables that are so different now, particularly in sports. I mean, there are full studies that have been done about traveling teams. Like there's a lot, particularly in the Midwest, or really even in California. But like if you want your kid to they show an interest in baseball, in football, whatever. Well, now it used to be that they would play school ball and they would be scouted by a college and then they'd maybe get scouted and go to the pros. But now there's so many of these these club teams and traveling teams and all this stuff. Well, if you want your kid to have a chance, they got to stay competitive, and so families end up getting totally broken up because you have one parent. Oftentimes, one parent's working, the other one's doing the traveling. There's no time to just be a family. It's all centered around this traveling circus of sports. So absolutely, those are variables that are new to the world that we're in now. But one last thing before we move on, just to go back to, which is, as you mentioned, there is a selfishness that is in you, right? There's a selfishness that's in all of us. But where does this selfishness come from? It comes from self-preservation. It comes from survival. At the end of the day, these are conditioned things because we needed to figure out you needed to figure out how to survive, how to be by yourself, doing things by yourself. That gets ingrained in us. And so I think that, again, in a vacuum, but imagine having parents that were so involved where you didn't have to feel like you needed to save yourself and save your time and save your energy and do what you did in order to just keep making it through. There may be a different outcome to how you see things right now, perhaps. You know what I mean?
No,
I think
I 100%. And there is a balance because I have had roommates whose parents did way too much shit for them. And they're the worst roommates ever. Yeah. They literally make a 5-course meal the night before, fill the sink with dishes, and the next day at 1 o'clock, they're just watching TV in the living room, the huge pile of dishes, and you go in and you go, you want me to wash those dishes? And they go, yeah, would you? And they go back to watching TV. I've had those roommates. They're the worst roommates. So it's like you can kind of overdo it in the my little king doesn't wash dishes department, and I've had a few of those. Worst roommates ever. Best roommates, low self-esteem roommates. Those are the good guys. Those are the best ones.
Listen, you can absolutely spoil your children, and that is not a good thing to do.
Oh,
either. But there's the balance of not spoiling them, teaching them good, morals, good values, holding them accountable, teaching them they're responsible for who they are and what they do, and also they are entirely loved.
I would also argue that there's a lot of talk about teaching them this stuff, and I'm much more in the camp of showing them this stuff, like work, show them. My kids are 19 now, but are turning 19, but one of my greatest joys was sort of like bringing them to work with me, especially even on the road on occasion, like showing up, meeting the club owner, the theater owner, setting up, sending them out to help sell the merch, showing that, downtime in between shows. Now we're doing a second show. We're coming back tomorrow for 2 shows, like really showing them this is what goes on. This is how you conduct yourself. And perks. They'll bring you food. You can order whatever you want off the thing. But then in between shows, you're going to go man the merch table and see if we can make a little cash that way, and in the way you act, the way you interact, the way you treat your spouse, the way they treat you, the way you treat the pool man or the gardener, just a kind of they're sponges. You can sit and lay out all the lessons you want, but ultimately they just sit and watch. And when they see you if you went in there and said, look, you got to be honest, and then when you're checking out of the hotel, go, the bed wasn't made when I showed up, so if you could knock off $20, that'd be awesome. And your son looked at you and went, the bed was fine. Shh, see if we can get to 20 off. That's the way we can't do it. I'm getting a note that says I wanted to talk to you about a couple other things, but I think your people are saying maybe you got to run somewhere. The Unbreakable Boy.
You're telling me with you.
Huh?
But listen, also, I've been talking to Mike, and I'm hoping to do one of your live shows with you at some point later. Oh, so we can talk about things then.
That would be awesome. Sorry, I thought we had an hour. That's fine. We'll catch up on stage. We'll do a live show, and you can come back on. I mean, listen, you don't need a movie to plug. There's plenty for us to discuss.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Zachary Levi. The Unbreakable Boy, theaters, February 21st. So good that I watched 15 minutes with no sound. That's how that's how good this movie.
It's like a build your own movie. You get to add all your own sound effects and music. You get to, do your own dubbing. It's a lot of fun if you think about it.
It's always funny because the very opening scene, I'm not giving anything away, but it's like kind of a party scene where you're drinking and having a good time. And for the first 2 minutes when it was silent, I'm like, okay, is this a choice? Because it's an interesting choice that all this is going on, but yet there's silence. Maybe they're making a statement about something that I'm aware of. But when I got to minute 11, I was like, I don't think this is a creative
that's
choice.
a long, boring choice right there. If it's 11 minutes.
All right, Zachary, good talking to you, my friend. We'll talk soon. We'll be on stage soon. We'll have a good time, and congratulations on the baby that's on the way.
Thanks, brother. Great seeing you, and I'll talk to you soon.
We'll talk soon. All right, we'll take a quick break. We got Keith Carradine, we got news, we got mayhem. I got stuff to complain about. We'll do all that right after this. It's out there, and or you can stream
It's out there waiting to be discovered, as they say.
So we say, sorry, Hulu. Let me just make sure I got, or put it on my screen, would you, goofballs? Where's the plug? That's Andrew, plug. Gotta have it. All right, so first of all, I did not know, and so this movie is a musical, sort of. But what are we calling it?
They're calling it a Southern Gothic musical. That is a descriptor which I have never heard describe a film. When I heard that description of this at first, and I saw a short that they made, basically of a song done in the style that they were going to do the film in, I thought, I want to be in this. I've never seen this before. Mm-hmm. It's a Southern Gothic, so it's about a dark tale. It's sort of the underbelly of the Bible Belt, if you will, and it's biblical in its story. 3 boys, sons of mine, whose souls I sold to the devil before they were born. It was a crossroads moment. It was like a Robert Johnson moment for my character, where this guy wanted to be a great blues singer. So he sells his soul, as well as the souls of all of his progeny, to the devil. These kids come into being. They're already damned. And they spend the movie in a quest to find dear old dad and take care of him, which will then enable them to get redemption and perhaps retrieve their lost souls from the underworld.
I saw the trailer. It is action-packed.
Yes.
It looks like it has a full budget. Like, it does not look like they're cutting
It could not have been less of a full budget. This is one of the things
they made it look like it had a big budget.
No, it looks fantastic. And this has been 5 years since we shot this. And
oh, really?
And these guys have been working on this, getting it finished. When I finally saw it, I didn't even see the film myself until a month ago. I got a stream of it, and I looked at it and went, whoa. These guys knocked it out of the park. It does not look like what it cost to make. And it's impressive. The production value is really good, and the photography is amazing. The music is fantastic. This guy, Nicholas Kirk, who was the composer who wrote all the songs and scored the whole film, and he co-wrote the screenplay with Brendan.
I'm not going to be able to help you.
Sorry, man.
In this department.
And anyhow, what they did was extraordinary. And then the cast that they put together, these kids can all sing. They can really sing. Rainey Qualley is in it.
You won an Oscar for Best Song, right?
I did, yeah. That was a while ago. So that's my bona fide, I guess. That's why I get to be in this.
Well, that's kind of incredible. So I'm Easy from Nashville, 1975.
Yeah.
So you were really young.
24.
And
26. I'm sorry, 26. I'm 75 now.
I don't know the average age you win Oscar.
That might have been ahead of the curve.
Still waiting, but under 30 and under 25 is young. So that's a hell of a way to get out of it. out of the gate.
Well, I got lucky, you know. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that are really gifted doing amazing stuff. They never get a break. You don't hear them. You don't hear their song. I got very lucky in that I was working with Altman from early on. We were shooting Thieves Like Us in Mississippi. I had my guitar. He loves to have parties. Bob did. He had a weekend party at the place he was renting. I had my guitar. I was playing my music. Joan Tewksbury, who'd written the screenplay for Thieves Like Us, was going up to Nashville on the weekends and sort of doing research for that project.
Were you out here? Were you like in Laurel Canyon and Malibu or someplace like that?
I lived in Laurel Canyon at first.
Everyone lived in Laurel Canyon.
Yeah,
All the creatives lived in Laurel Canyon.
Well, I was actually there during the time. And then I moved out to Topanga, which is also what everybody does.
That's where the creatives moved when they left Laurel Canyon.
Yeah.
They
and
moved
I was in
to Topanga
Canyon. I was in Topanga for like 15 years. Then I went to Colorado. I was in the Rockies for a while up in Telluride. And
so for you, it was always, I mean, there was an environment vibe that you needed. Or you gelled with or something. I'm a creative person, but I don't need to like live in the village. I just feel like I want boring suburbia, and then it'll be quiet and crime-free, and then I can create without the distraction of that.
I'm going to quote my friend Tom Waits, with whom I had a conversation a little while back, and I said, "How are you up there?" And he's up in Northern California. I said, "You write from such an urban place, and there you are in a very rural place. How is that?" He says, "Well," he says, "the way I operate, I just kind of sit down and start to absorb, and then eventually I secrete." So that's kind of my MO, I think, is it doesn't matter where I am. This stuff comes through us, you know, and whatever the avenue is that will generate that passage of this thing to come from where it came and come through me and become a song. I was listening to this McCartney podcast. He's talking about writing and how the stuff just comes to you, you know?
Yeah, I was watching him on SNL's 50th whatever the other day. I was watching a clip of him doing a song or two.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, what's the guy, 82?
He's in his 80s now. Yeah.
It's so impressive that he can keep that.
Yeah.
And also it's impressive that he created that stuff at, well, you know what it's like. Average age of the Oscar winners, 50.
Is it?
So
you found that out, huh?
Somebody put it on my screen.
Okay, I guess I was ahead of that curve.
But you should have 2 by now.
Well,
according to that logic.
I should have 2, although, I've written a lot of songs, and that's my Oscar was for songwriting.
Yeah.
It wasn't, but,
But
my
you
wife likes to...
performed it as
yes,
well,
my
right?
wife likes to say that it had everything to do with my performance of it in the film. Mm-hmm. And maybe there's something to that. But whatever it was, it touched a nerve, it got through, people liked it.
Nashville was a real bona fide hit back. I was young, but I remember Altman and Nashville. And
well, it was
certainly
it was critically acclaimed.
Critically acclaimed.
It didn't go out and make a lot of money.
No, it wasn't Jaws, but it was critically acclaimed.
But that's kind of been my whole thing, man. I've been looking from the outside in this business forever. I mean, I've always been kind of.
There is kind of a weird low self-esteem in this business.
I'm sure I was guilty of it as the next person.
Because you have an Oscar, but you look at yourself as an outsider. I remember interviewing Coppola once, and I said, like, so you can kind of do whatever. And he's like, they won't let me do the films I want to do. They'll let me do a gangster film, but I don't. And I remember talking to Sylvester Stallone, and he felt like kind of short shrift and cheated and didn't get his due. Maybe it's just a default setting, but it's like if Coppola and Stallone can feel like they kind of are the black sheep of the business or didn't get their due or couldn't do what they wanted to do, then where are we?
Well, yeah, that's a good question. I don't feel as though I haven't been given a lot of shots. I have no complaints. I'm a lucky man.
Does the Carradine, is there any nepotism there?
Well, sure. I mean, just by default. I mean, the name itself opened certain doors. Once you get in that door, I was challenged on more than one occasion about, what are you doing here? Why do you think you belong here just because your name is Carradine? Mm-hmm. There was this casting director. She was something else. Her name was Millie Gussie.
What was it for?
I can't remember. I don't remember that it was for anything specific, but I went into a general, I think they called them in those days. I was 20-something and sat opposite her in her office at Paramount on the lot. And she said, "Well, what makes you think you're an actor? You know,
Yeah.
I mean, who are you to be in here?" I mean, it was intimidating, and I was cowed. I'll tell you. But you don't quit. You keep at it, and eventually, if you have something to offer, and you're lucky, and I was lucky, and whatever I had to offer, people, gave me some shots.
You were in Southern Comfort, right?
Yep.
I remember seeing that in the movie theater. Powers Booth?
Yes, sir.
There? That's one of the greatest names ever.
Yep.
Don't sleep on Southern Comfort. I feel like a lot of people have seen Red Dawn 35 times and missed Southern Comfort. It's good.
It's not
like swampy.
Yep.
It's got the bayou vibe to it. It's got a lot of good elements going to it. And I remember seeing it in the theater going, oh, yeah, this is good.
Well, Southern Comfort's interesting. It's gotten recognized again now. And
it did.
My dear old friend Alan Rudolph, there's an amazing piece on him in the current issue of The New Yorker talking about Breakfast of Champions, which was roundly rejected when he made it. And this reviewer, who's really smart, and what he wrote was really smart, basically talks about how extraordinary this film is and what it's kind of a work of genius, this movie, and everyone dismissed it. And one of the comments the reviewer made was that it was so original that the established norms...
Wait, are we talking Breakfast
of Champions?
Yes.
Was so original that the established norms dictated that it had to be rejected. And now people are looking at this film, and I'm so happy for Alan because I just think he's a mad genius. I've loved the stuff that we've done together. And one of the things that drew me to this thing,
The Devil and the DeLong Brothers,
is these kids that are making this movie. They're not kids anymore, but they're young people, and they're on the upswing. And these other performers, it was an incredible experience to be around that energy and the inventiveness that they brought to it and the passion they brought to it. A lot of times in this business, if you last long enough, you can get kind of jaded and cynical and you lose that juice. Well, you talked about seeing McCartney and being impressed that he still seems to be interested. And I think that one of the things that we have as performers, if you can still feel like you've got more to do or you haven't been completely seen yet, I think that's a kind of a drive that can lead to more creativity. And I think that's growth in its own way. And if you just keep growing, if you stop growing, you start dying. So
yeah, well, it's at least not atrophy. You know what I mean?
Correct.
To keep moving.
Yeah.
To keep, it's like if you walk 5 miles every day, I don't know if it's growth, but it's not atrophy.
Yeah. And you need to do that. It's important.
I concur. And now, what do you think? I'm going to ask my guys. Southern Comfort, 1983, 82.
We shot it in 1980.
80.
And 81. I think it came out in 82. We shot Long Riders in the summer of 79. And that was the next thing I did with Walter after the Long Riders with Southern Comfort. So, I think 81, something like that.
Now, the question on Rotten Tomatoes, I bet the people liked it more than the critics. But it was interesting. I enjoyed it, but I was a lad at the time. What do you think the Rotten Tomatoes score is?
I have no idea. I know that we screened it recently in Santa Monica at the Aero. Walter and I were there. The place was packed.
Oh, yeah.
And that audience was a real mix. I mean, there were older people, there were younger people. They loved the movie, and they got it.
It had a little First Blood before First Blood. Like
it did.
Some of those elements
Some of those,
it. When Rambo was real.
Right.
Yeah. 81, it says it came out here. Could have been late 81.
Yeah.
All right, should we take Rotten Tomatoes guesses?
Gadzooks, man. I don't know. I mean, does that change Rotten Tomatoes? Does it evolve, or is it always the same number that it first got?
I think there could be some evolving.
Yeah.
Good, or there could be it can add or subtract. You can get a couple of bad ones.
I'm going to be optimistic, and I'm going to say somewhere in the 70s.
With the critics.
With the critics, I would give it probably below 50.
Okay. So should we lock in at like 45 with the critics?
With the critics, okay.
And we'll put you at 75 for the people?
For the people, yeah.
I have a chasm between the critics and the people as well. I'm going to say that what they call the audience score, the popcorn score, or something like that. I don't know. I liked it, but I was young when I saw it. I'll stick with you. I'll say in the 70s with the people, and in the 40s with the critics. Dawson. Oh,
Southern
wow.
Comfort is fresh at 78%.
I had it right.
Carradine was correct on the money for the People's score at 75%.
Well, to be fair to Carradine, I signed him to 75. He said above 70. But no, that's right in the middle.
Yeah.
God bless you.
I was guessing.
Well, that's a pretty, listen, by Rotten Tomatoes standards, that is a solid score right
solid.
there. Yeah.
And now I'm hoping that for this thing that we're talking about, The Devil and the Daylong Brothers, it's only streaming. It's in a few theaters, but it's a different world now. And the only way this stuff gets adopted, embraced, is word of mouth. And so I'm hoping that people are going to see it and tell their friends to see it. And that I'll be very curious to see what the Rotten Tomatoes are on this. There have been a few reviews. There was one, the only slightly negative review I read gave it a B- and complained about the fact that people would break into song during the middle of mayhem. Mm-hmm. And my response to that is, no, wait a second. Are there rules to musicals as to when you can break into song when you're in the middle of, I've not heard of that, but it's brilliant. I think what they did here. It's kind of Tarantino meets Disney in a weird way, and in fact, the creators, Brendan and Nicholas, they talked about the fact that when they were designing this thing and writing the screenplay and deciding the structure of it, they actually went and looked at a bunch of Disney animated musicals to try and figure out the structure of where it seems to be the best working plot of where to put a song. Mm-hmm. And where to have a song in the structure of the telling of the story. Because basically these songs are helping to tell the story, as musicals do. That's what they're supposed to do. The music in this thing is terrific. And this guy is really good. Nicholas Kirk is really good.
I don't think there are any more rules anymore because...
Apparently not.
Isn't there a Robbie Williams film where he plays a chimp? Except for Robbie Williams is a chimp? Am I making this up?
You may be right. I've not seen it.
It is a film that everybody is. I mean, it's I don't know in the 90s on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's Robbie Williams, a pop. Am I getting this right? Robbie Williams, a pop star. There's too many celebrities and too many names in my head now, and he is a chimpanzee, although everything else is normal around him. And I don't even know how to describe it other than people seem to like it a lot. It's called Better Man, and it's like a biography. It's a biography of Robbie Williams, except for Robbie Williams is not in it.
I've heard of this.
It's a chimp.
He's in it as a chimpanzee, yeah.
So here's what I'm getting from this. No more rules.
No.
Just whatever.
Yeah.
It just is.
Yeah.
So you can sing or you can not sing, and you can sing in the middle of a gunfight. It doesn't matter anymore. Yeah. Or you cannot. You have to pull it off.
Yeah.
Yes. Is that Better Man? I mean, that thing's like 95% on Rotten Tomatoes or something. It's crazy. Made $110 million. Oh, it had a $110 million budget. We'll see how it is. Well, that's
different from what it... Well, I wonder what it did make.
Yeah, so what the hell was L.A. like in Laurel Canyon back in the day?
Smoky?
It was a completely... How different was Hollywood back in the day?
It was all different. I mean, I remember being on the Strip during the curfew in the summer of '66, I think it was.
Sunset Strip.
Yeah. There was a lot of cross-pollination, as you said. Everybody was there. It was Joni Mitchell's time when she was writing The Ladies of the Canyon and stuff like that. The Byrds were there, C.S. Crosby, Stills, Nash. They were all hanging out in the canyon. I remember I was recording in the 70s. As a result of Geffen signing me, he saw the movie Nashville, and he signed me to a recording deal. And so I was recording at that time, and one of the people that played on one of the recordings was John Mayall. He just passed. I was sorry to hear, but he came in and did a piano harmonica riff where he played the same notes on the harmonica as he was playing on the piano, and added that into this cut on my first record. John Guerin was producing it. He'd been the drummer for the LA Express. In fact, there was one session that I sat in and recorded my guitar part because it was a solo guitar picking part. And I walked into the control room. He said, "That was great. Come on in and listen." And I walked in and Joni was sitting there because
Wow.
they were a couple. I was freaked. I mean, if I had known she was sitting there when I was playing that, I couldn't have done it.
Who are some of the people you think are really stellar in that
Well,
world?
you know, yeah, that pantheon. I mean, she's obviously top of the list. From a songwriting point of view, Tom Waits, he's a friend, but I just think he's a genius. What he writes, what he wrote when he was 19. When I was 19, I was writing puerile crap. When he was 19, he was writing from a place of sagacity, wisdom. It was like, how do you know that when you're 19? How do you write a song like Martha? Operator number, please. It's been so many years. I mean, where do you.
Is Downtown Train one of his?
I can't remember that one.
I think he wrote it, and then Rod Stewart covered it and made it into a hit.
I think Tom's ballads, I mean, everything he does, I'm just a freak for him, but I think his ballads are just exquisite. And from that time, Tim Hardin, John Prine, the kind of stuff they were writing.
I would imagine you'd like John Hyatt.
Yes.
I love John Hyatt.
Yeah.
Because he's a wordsmith.
Yeah. I like words, man. I appreciate the ability to put them together so that they sing.
I agree. I'm not of the. I think the lyrics matter.
Oh yeah, I do too.
And I think they're important. And I get the part where there's songs you like that are in Spanish and you don't know a goddamn word they're saying, but you go, "Hey, that's a good song."
Yeah, if you like
I can
the
see
melody.
myself shaking my ass to that. But and that's important and that's a thing. But when somebody can really turn a phrase, like in Papa Was a Rolling Stone, when they go, "Wherever he left his hat was his home, and when he died, all he left us is alone." I'm like, oh yeah.
Well, that John Prine song, "There's a hole in Daddy's arm where all the money goes."
Wow.
I mean, that's an entire life story.
That's a
in
heroin
sentence.
thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then people that can write that way and conjure an image that efficiently, something that pithy, that's that short and has that much wit to it. I strive for that, and I'm still writing. I'm still writing songs, and I tend to write more simply now than I used to. I used to try to say too much, but there's something to being concise, and being able to put a lyric together that has a ring to it, and then maybe has a rhyme to it as well, but that also, makes a point in a melodic way, verbally melodic.
Tom Waits did write Downtown Train.
He did.
So you'll hear Rod Stewart sing it and you'll get confused because you'll be like, "Oh, these are good lyrics." And you write songs about hot legs and even the president needs passion. So you're a semi-retarded songwriter who writes horrible, embarrassing, demeaning lyrics. Where did you get shining like a new dime and stuff like that? Where did that come from? And then you go, "Oh, the reason you like this Rod Stewart song is because Tom Waits wrote the song."
Yeah.
That's why you like it. And that's why it sounds interesting and it's sort of got layers and it paints a picture and it's you can close your eyes and listen to that song and sort of see it.
Yep.
And Rod Stewart singing about passion and hot legs,
Yep.
which are juvenile and horrible, and he should be embarrassed lyrics, but there was probably high on coke or something, or he's just trying to get paid. But
It was a hit, wasn't it?
it was a hit with idiots. It was a hit with idiots, but you do hear Downtown Train, or
one of my favorites of Waits is I'm going to take it with me when I go.
should we try to listen to that?
Oh, it's fantastic.
I'm going to take it with me when I go.
I'm going to take it with me when I go. It is so full of heart, that song, and it's it's a couple. He's singing to his lady, and it's just full of soul, full of heart, and that's the stuff that I respond to.
If you ever hear, if you hear a Rod Stewart song you like, somebody else wrote it. That's my Rod Stewart. Okay, that's number one. If you hear Downtown Train, someone else wrote it, and I think Handbags and Glad Rags, which is a good Rod Stewart song, was written by Cat Stevens. That's what I think. But we'll see if memory serves. But we'll hear the Tom Waits song. And there's also John Waits, but simplicity, but yet super effective.
Yep.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
What would you recommend? So if people want to listen to Tom Waits, like go online and
his body of work is just astounding. There's one piece that he did that I saw performed. He did this musical called Black Rider. And it was performed downtown at the Amundsen. It never went to New York. It was one of the most astounding things I've ever seen on a stage. The music was extraordinary. The whole production was just magnificent. I'm not sure you could ever get that music anywhere. But every one of his records, and listen, I was introduced to his music when I was just starting out, and I was working with this music attorney, and she said, listen to this. Describe the artist, and it was his first record. And I said, well, he's a black guy in his 50s or 60s. She said, this is a 19-year-old white kid from San Diego. And I went, whoa, what? And that was the beginning of my fascination with Tom. And then our lives have crisscrossed. We've had sort of intersecting lives in certain ways.
Tecovas, well, anywhere worth going is worth going in good boots. Find your perfect pair with Tecovas. Tecovas, craft quality Western boots for everyone, from generational ranchers to lifelong cowboys to first-time boot buyers. Every one of Tecovas boots are handcrafted with over 200 meticulous steps for broken-in comfort right out of the box. Whether it's a long day or a big night, your Tecovas are built to last and to impress. That's right. I sit around. I'm from North Hollywood, so it's not exactly cowboy boot country, but I sit and I see those Tecovas commercials on TV, and I get jealous. I see all the guys going out, starting campfires, kicking butt. I just look at those things and go, I got to get me some Tecovas. With Tecovas, it's the best in the West guarantee. You get free returns and exchanges for 30 days. So, no chance. You're going to love Tecovas. Am I right, Dawson?
Right now, get 10% off at tecovas.com/Adam when you sign up for email and text. That's 10% off at tecovas.com/Adam. Tecovas.com/Adam. See site for details. Tecovas. Point your toes west.
If you weren't a Carradine, do you think it would just be music?
Yes.
That's an honest answer.
I do. I had an opportunity. I had been playing. I had been songwriting. It was something I was doing. I'm not a great musician. I'm not a great player. I can play the guitar enough to write the songs that I write. I dabble on the piano, and I've written songs on the piano, but I'm not highly accomplished as a player. But whatever I can do vocally and whatever my sense of lyric is that has evolved and I think improved over the years, I've had opportunities to do stuff musically that I've never had more joy from a creative experience than from making music. Or in fact, I've done musicals on Broadway. Those are fun, man. Starting with Hair, that was my first gig.
Oh, really?
In '69, yeah.
Were you naked?
I was, every night, 8 shows a week.
How did that, by the way, did Cat Stevens do Handbags and Glad Rags? Just to follow up on the initial question. Somebody wrote that other than Rod Stewart. Well, we can look. Yeah, how was that performing naked?
Well,
how old were you?
You talk about performing naked, but the naked part was not a performance. It was a very strict ordinance in terms of New York theater that you could be naked on stage as long as you did not move.
Oh, really?
Correct. So that moment in Hair that happened at the end of Act 1 in every performance, the cast would rise from under a scrim for all these, and they would stand up naked and stand still.
Mike Diabo wrote Handbags and Glad Rags.
Singer of Manfred Mann.
There she come, just a walking down that Manfred Man, huh? Do what did he do? That's Manfred Mann, right? Oh, Blinded by the Light. And also Do What Did He?
And Quinn the Eskimo.
Oh, Quinn the Eskimo.
Yeah, also wrote Build Me Up Buttercup. It's a great song by the Foundations or something, I think, or whatever.
Now, was Quinn the Eskimo, is that what I understand that was about the Anthony Quinn performance in Savage Innocence? Is that what the source of that song was?
Yeah, talking to the wrong crew.
I know there's a crossover there because it was Anthony Quinn. He played an Eskimo in Savage Innocence.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe it was
when
the
Quinn the
mighty
Eskimo when he gets you, everybody got to jump for joy. Huh?
Man, where the hell did I get Cat Stevens with that song? I wonder if there's any Cat Stevens song that a Rod Stewart covered. That would be interesting. But no. Cat Stevens covered the song as well. So I thought it was a Cat Stevens song. That's where the confusion. So I'm not that far off. Cat Stevens did Handbags and Glad Rags. And I figured since Cat wrote his stuff, or I assumed he did, that he wrote that song. So anyway, Ordinance is you can be naked, but you can't gyrate or move.
Correct. I have no idea if it's changed since then, but this was 1969. That was the ordinance in place at the time. So the cast stood up naked, and it was a statement about freedom and tolerance.
How old
and all
were
of
you?
that. I was 19.
Yeah, that's prime boner years, by the way. You could get a boner.
I managed to stand up on stage without that happening. Thank
Wow. You are an artist. Professional.
The audience did not turn me on to that degree.
Yeah, but there were young ladies in the cast.
Yes, that's true.
Rod Stewart covered Cat Stevens' song, The First Cut is the Deepest, which is another great song that if you find yourself enjoying Rod Stewart, someone else wrote the song. That's the rule with Rod Stewart, even though he does a great job on First Cut is the Deepest.
Are you a fan of his the album he did of Standards?
I like that kind of stuff. Like I appreciate Rod Stewart. It's just when I hear songs like Passion and Hot Legs, I'm embarrassed for him. I'm literally embarrassed. But it was the 80s, so what can you do? So
there was a lot of snitzel in the 80s. It was a dusty time.
I attribute a lot of it to cocaine consumption.
Yeah.
So you're 19, you're naked on stage. There must have been women in the cast you were attracted to.
Well, I wrote one of them a song, and she has my child. So
I'm going with yes on that.
That did happen.
Yeah, it's bound to happen, right?
And Shelley Plimpton, she was Chrissy, and we fell in love, and I wrote "I'm Easy" for her. And
that's Martha's mom.
Yeah, my daughter Martha Plimpton. Yeah,
Martha Plimpton was a very prominent actress.
She's still at it.
Time period. And I'm trying to think of. Well, it says here The Goonies, but I'm the only one who's never seen The Goonies.
Yeah.
Now, I would know her from
Mosquito Coast, Mosquito Coast, among other things. Parenthood. She's brilliant in that.
She's Parenthood.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, she's great in that with Keanu. She and Keanu Reeves.
Parenthood. I dare say underrated because I think people think of it as a comedy, but it's really an interesting look into life.
It's very layered. Ron
very
Howard,
layered.
He knows what he's doing, and that movie holds up.
Was she? I'm going to go way back. There was a series called James at 16 or James at 15. Was she in that? Well, she was a child actress.
She started out young, yeah. I think she did her first film at 11, if I'm not mistaken. She did an off-Broadway play, I think when she was 11. Maybe she was 12 when she did her first film. I'm not quite sure of the exact ages, but yeah, she was a force, is a force. And that was obvious from the get-go with her. And she was born to perform.
Yeah, she was in tons of stuff. I don't know. Things are so spread out now, and everyone's got their own station, and you just don't see everything all the time. So I wouldn't know if she was producing and writing, directing.
She's doing
and all
it
that
all.
stuff.
I don't know that she's writing. I don't believe she's directed yet. But I know that she's really active, and I'm very proud of her and her career. She's had an amazing career.
Well, her mom obviously was an actress.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so between the two of
and
you,
a singer,
that could see somebody getting into acting at a young age.
Yeah, there were some genetics involved there for sure.
Oh, well, why isn't she a Carradine, if you don't mind me asking?
Her mother and I, that was her mother and I were not married, and that was their choice to make at the time.
She was living with her mother.
Yeah,
and you guys weren't married, so she took the mom's name.
Yeah.
It was a little.
Angelina is not Voight either, so there you go.
Well, that's a good point.
Yep.
And then there's Nicolas Cage.
And then there's that.
Was she in James at 15 and/or James at 16? Was she the love interest in that series, which was a made-for-TV movie that like spun off into a series and was real popular somewhere in the 70s? And for some reason, I have a vague recollection, but as we can tell,
she would have been young. She was born in 70, so.
She was born in 1970.
Yeah.
Oh, too young.
Yeah.
Too young. Oh, sorry. Well, that's interesting. And so how did that dynamic work? You were never married to the mom.
No. We were not together that long, actually. It was a fairly brief affair, But Shelley, she's a dear, sweet soul and one of my best, dearest friends. And, that's just what that was. It was a brief liaison out of which came an extraordinary being.
Yeah.
And, you just, no regrets, man.
Yeah, I guess I made up the whole James at 15 and 16. Lance Kerwin, maybe the name of the actor who played that. It looked like a young Martha Plimpton. And then there's George Plimpton. Where does George Plimpton factor into this?
I think he's actually a cousin. Yeah.
I think Melissa Sue Anderson might have played. There's a picture of Lance Kerwin kissing Melissa Sue Anderson on the cheeks.
I'm going with Melissa Sue Anderson. Oh, God, there's too much. We've been around for too long. Yeah, Little House on the Prairie, Melissa Sue Anderson, as far as I can tell. So George Plimpton, the journalist?
Yes.
I think we'll give him the title of journalist, but sort of transcended journalist.
He did transcend journalism, but that was his basic gig. That's what we got to know him as.
He's somewhere in that family.
Yeah, he's a cousin.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, I think he's a cousin, yeah.
That's a good pedigree she's got going there. Because he was he was an interesting cat.
Yeah.
The Alan Alda movie, The Paper Lion, I think was made after his experience.
Aha.
If that rings a bell.
It does ring a bell.
We're going back again.
We're going back a ways, and I'm not sure I've ever actually seen that film.
George Plimpton, I think, tried out for the Detroit Lions in the 60s or something.
Was that like an Esquire article or something where they were, talking about the fact that he had done that?
Yeah, and then wrote a story about what it was like to actually be kind of a civilian and try out or train with or go to the training camp of the Detroit Lions.
And he came out okay, huh? He wasn't injured?
It was good enough to write an article about it, and then somebody made a movie about it, and that's all I remember. And I remember Alan Alda played George Plimpton. That's all I got. So the Canyon, there was something about Laurel Canyon in that time period where all the artists coalesced there.
Yep.
Maybe it's because it just spilled out onto the Sunset Strip. You could literally coast down
right
to all the
street.
clubs,
You could coast down or roll down, as it were.
And
I knew those back roads very well. When I was living up there, I was living up at the top of Wonderland.
Oh, and, Wonderland, infamous.
On Crescent Drive. Actually, my first school was the Wonderland Avenue School.
My mom went there for a period of time.
Yeah, we lived on Woodrow Wilson then, but I was living up on Crescent Drive up at the top. And at one point, I was carless. I had just come back from New York from doing hair. And David, my brother, had these, David was always a car freak, and he had these 3 cars, Lancia Aurelias. Mid-50s Lancia Aurelia. It had a DD-owned transmission, and it was this really cool little Italian roadster, and he had 3 of them. And there was one of them that he would let me use. And at one point, I had a ticket that I had not addressed. So I spent all of my time going from my place in Laurel Canyon to my agency down at the end of Sunset by Doheny. And I would use all the back roads to get there so that I wouldn't cross any heat.
Right.
Because I didn't want to get stopped.
Right.
And then, of course, there was an occasion when I was standing outside on the dirt road looking at the view of the ocean from outside my house, and this black and white came down the road and stopped me and ran a check on me, and it turned out that I had this warrant for this equipment violation from one of David's cars that was missing a side view mirror.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And that was my one experience of incarceration. I spent the night at Hollywood Jail and went to Van Nuys the next morning and had to stand up in court and explain why I hadn't taken care of the ticket. And
Honor, have you seen Kung Fu, the series?
Yeah.
Probably wasn't on yet.
No, that was pre-Kung Fu.
Pre-Kung. I, incredibly, had almost the exact same experience.
No way.
I swear to God. I've been in jail one time.
Yeah, that was my one time.
It was because of a warrant. And it's because I knew I had a warrant. And it's because I took side streets to try to avoid the main thoroughfare, which in my case was Ventura Boulevard. In your case,
it was all through the hills.
Sunset, but Ventura and then Sunset sort of bookend where you live. And I took the side streets to try to avoid it, got pulled over anyway, and got arrested. And that's the one time I went in.
And I remember standing in the courtroom, and this judge, he was affable, and there was a courtroom full of other people, and it got my turn to stand up, and he said, "So what's going on with this?" And he said, "What's happening with the car?" And I said, "Well, actually, that car is my brother's car, and that car has actually been cannibalized for parts. For some reason, he found that hilarious.
Yeah,
and he started laughing up,
Always
on
good.
the bench." And said, "Okay, get out of here," and that was that.
Driving a Lancia, like in the 50s or 60s, or from the 50s,
From
in
the
the
50s,
60s,
in the 70s,
or in the 70s is an insane proposition. Because if you need a head gasket, you got to order it. It's going to take 7
There was a guy
months.
down in Venice that David would take the cars to. His name was Vito, and he was the only guy who could fix those cars.
They're literally... At a certain point in like the mid-70s, you would see commercials and they'd go, "We work on foreign cars."
Yes, that's
was
right.
a big selling point. But you knew a guy. It was essentially like having a drug dealer. It's like, I know a guy, but he's a real expensive and he's across town, and you got to go all the way there to get the car fixed.
You want this part? Here's what you got to do. You're not gonna just get this part. You have to know a guy who knows a guy who can.
No, I mean, now you can drive whatever you want, go drop it off and fix it. But back then, if you drove something weird, my grandparents in the 60s in North Hollywood drove a Peugeot.
Oh, there you go.
It was like, are you guys nuts?
Very French.
Anything breaks, it's like the car's sitting for 6 months.
I drove a Peugeot 504. I rented it in Nice, in southern France. I had just finished working there, and I rented this Peugeot 504, and I drove it from Nice back to Paris through Italy and the Alps.
Wow.
And at one point, I pulled up into Zermatt and parked, and then took the COG train up to the town of Zermatt, spent the night in a hotel. I was dying to see the Matterhorn. I'd never seen it in real life. I remembered the Disney movie with Spencer Tracy, and so I took a hike up to see the Matterhorn. It was shrouded in fog. I saw nothing, but I remember that Peugeot very well.
Yeah. Well, my grandma bought it used off you. Keith, let me give you a plug. The Devil and the Day Long Brothers. It's available